season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find them on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Tonight, the first two games of college football championship weekend in the Pac-12 title game, a top 5 matchup between Washington and Oregon in Las Vegas. That one on ABC at 8 Eastern. Also tonight, 12-0 Liberty plays New Mexico State for the Conference USA title. Fresno State coach Jeff Tedford will miss the team's bowl game with health issues. The Bulldogs are 8-4 after losing their last 3 in the regular season. With the Cowboys' win over the Seahawks and with the numbers put up by Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott, well, here's ESPN's Jeff Darlington.
Any other player in the league we're putting up, if Patrick Mahomes was putting up the numbers that Dak Prescott is right now, it would be a clear and obvious choice. Patrick Mahomes, the MVP. Dak Prescott deserves our respect and absolutely should remain in that conversation.
Jeff Darlington on Carlin versus Joe. We've got an NBA doubleheader on ESPN starting at 7:30 Eastern tonight with the Celtics hosting the 76ers. That's followed by the Suns hosting the Nuggets in Phoenix.
Home, auto, prized sports memorabilia. Whatever you need to protect, Geico can help get you covered. And with the award-winning Geico mobile app, you can get 24/7 claim support and on-the-go policy access. It's easy to Geico. Go to geico.com today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Alondra Villaria. Who, by the way, will be next up on The Matchlorette.
No, she will not.
Mr. Tubby, time play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. Happy Football Friday. Phil Steele in 15 minutes. We'll preview all 10 conference championship games. Terrio next hour. Comings and goings within the LSU program. And we got a Saints-Lions preview. A ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Well, it has been a productive week for LSU football. The defense was historically bad this year. Brian Kelly and his staff obviously had to go address that for both this coming season and beyond, and they've taken steps in doing that. Earlier this week, Sean Washington committed, the JUCO defensive lineman from Warren Easton in New Orleans who went to Georgia and then East Mississippi Community College, a literally big commitment, a guy that could play nose or 3 technique on the defensive line. And they've also looked ahead in nabbing 2 more prospects. One that we had waited on and anticipated for a while, the shoe dropped on Thursday night. Keylan Moses from right here in Baton Rouge, U-High, of course, the younger brother of Dylan Moses, who broke LSU fans' hearts years ago, and he's appeared to be an LSU lock, and ultimately, when Les Miles got fired, ended up going to Alabama. But Keylan Moses decided he's staying home and made the announcement on Thursday night at a ceremony out at U-High. And for many reasons, this is just massively significant. First of all, we saw the issues that LSU had at linebacker this year. Let's call it what it is. You brought in Omar Spates. Didn't work out so great. You moved Harold Perkins inside. After one game, you realized that wasn't going to be a fit. Greg Penn was one of the top 10 tacklers in the SEC. Is he, and he's a thumper, but is he really a 3-down linebacker? You just didn't. And look, you got some depth that you've recruited there. You love Whit Weeks. Christian Braithwaite signed a year ago and could have some potential there. You've still got West Weeks hanging around as well. So you've got some numbers and some depth, but that's a position where clearly you got to get better. And Keylan Moses is one of the best in the country. Remember, he's a high school junior. So he's finishing his junior season right now. So he's a class of 2025 player. And when you look at the recruiting profile for Keylan Moses, I mean, it came down to LSU in Florida. He had offers from everybody. He's a 4-star. He's a top 200 player in the country. He's the number 3 player in Louisiana for the class of 2025. And you better believe that as he finishes this season and goes through his senior year, that number is only going to continue to climb from everyone who's seen him play from the time that he was in junior high. And because of his last name, we've all seen him play since he was in junior high. There's a few very important things here. One, most obviously, is this is a kid in your backyard. This is a kid in Baton Rouge who's a national recruit, and you're getting him to stay home. I mean, you missed out on his brother. So that's first and foremost. You want to put the fence around the state. You want to keep the best players in Louisiana home. Well, LSU is doing that here with Keylan Moses. The other part of it, obviously, is you've got to be able to continue to fortify this defense with great players. That's really been a theme this week as we've talked about the future of this LSU defense, is you've got to get dudes again. The transfer portal is fine, and yes, you're going to get some good players out of the portal, but mostly what Brian Kelly and previous under Brian Polian were doing were recruiting players that were the kind of players that he'd recruit to Notre Dame, with casting a national net to get a different type of player. When, as I've said, you could throw a rock and hit a 3-star cornerback from LSU's campus, or in this case, a top 200 player in the country and one of the best linebackers in the country. Now you get Keylan Moses on board for the class of 2025. And when Keylan Moses committed, maybe the most important thing he said was that he was going to become LSU's best recruiter, to make sure that LSU had the best class in the country for 2025. And when you start to look at it, how it's playing out already, LSU's 4th right now for the class of 2025. Now, they've got 6 commitments, and it's early. I mean, the 2024 class hasn't even signed yet, so it seems premature to talk 2025. But in recruiting, you've got to be ahead of the cycle. DeCorian Moore, who's a 5-star out of Duncanville, is already committed. Keylan Moses now becomes the 2nd highest-rated player in this class. J.D. LaFleur, who is tight end out of Sulphur, of course, a legacy. His dad was David LaFleur, former first-round draft pick of the Cowboys. Brett Bordelon out of New Orleans, who, of course, is a legacy. His brother's on the team right now. His dad played. Teron Francis out of Edna Carr in New Orleans. And Jalen Bell out of Grayson, which is a Loganville, Georgia, which is a football factory. So you've already started to build a really good class for 2025, and Keylan Moses is a huge, huge part of that. Now, Keylan Moses wasn't the only good news that LSU got. Do you remember the name Antonio Alfano? If not, I'll jog your memory. Antonio Alfano was out of New Jersey in the class of 2019, and he was the number 1 player in the country. Not the number 1 defensive tackle, not the number 1 player in New Jersey, the number 1 player in the country for the class of 2019. He signed with Bama back then. Didn't work out at Bama. He ends up going to Colorado, spent this last year in JUCO, and now is back into the portal after playing this year at Lackawanna for his final year of college eligibility. And Antonio Alfano tweeted, after talking this morning to Coach Lindsey, I informed him that I'm committing to the Louisiana State University. Go Tigers. And he tagged LSU, Coach Lindsey, Coach Brian Kelly, and a JUCO account as well. There's a couple of things of great relevance here. First and foremost, the player, okay? You're talking about a guy that was physically gifted enough that when he was coming out of high school, he was the number 1 player in the country. He's a defensive tackle, 6'4", 290. So you got a big, athletic interior dude. Remember what we've talked about this week. when LSU got the commitment from Sean Washington. LSU for years, built their reputation, not as DBU. That was the flash. And yes, there was a ton of substance there. But LSU set a record for the number of years consecutively having a defensive lineman drafted. And there's been a long list of great interior defensive players that just haven't been there in the last half decade. So addressing the interior of the defensive line is so key because you got roughed up this year. Now, if Mason Smith returns, Mekhi Wingo returns, Jacoby and Guillory, huge boost for next year. But they could all leave. And if they do, and Jordan Jefferson's out of eligibility, that means you're left with Bryce Langston, Ty G. Hill, Fitzgerald West. You've got no experience. No experience, no depth. So they're addressing that now. You got Sean Washington out of JUCO, and now you go and get Antonio Alfano as well. Again, former number 1 overall player in the country who immediately gives you help on the interior of your defensive line. So it's so obvious the great need that LSU, and Brian Kelly said it, this isn't going to be a year where LSU signs double-digit players out of the transfer portal. It's going to be single-digit players out of the portal. But it's clear where the emphasis is. This is your second interior defensive lineman already out of the portal this year. We've talked, they'll probably look at a quarterback. There might be a starting cornerback out there in the portal this year that LSU is going to take. We'll see. But it's not going to be this free-for-all where you see LSU taking this glut of players because they have to. You've been able to build now with high school recruiting classes to build your roster numbers back up, so now you're going to supplement with the portal. And one of the biggest positions of need is interior defensive line, and you went and got 2 guys who, when they came out of high school, were as highly regarded as anybody, and now they're more veteran players, and they're coming to help supplement the interior of your defensive line. That's how you should use the portal, and that's how LSU's doing it now. So a couple of really big gets, 3 really big gets this week, 2 for this coming season, and Keylan Moses for the class of 2025. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Our show open every day, of course, is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints as well. Of course, this weekend, y'all, it is Saints and Lions, and we told you earlier this week, we've been doing our big Saints ticket giveaway over the past several weeks. Congrats to Thomas Powers, who was our winner. Thomas Powers is the winner of 4 tickets to watch the Saints, Lions, and 4 pregame field passes. So thanks so much to everybody who entered, and thanks so much to everybody, and thanks so much to Mockler, our friends at Mockler Beverage and Bud Light, for giving us those 4 game tickets in the Bud Light fan zone, the 4 pregame field passes as well. Our friends at Mockler are great supporters of ours, great supporters of the local teams, the communities, and they give back. And we're thrilled to be partnered with them, thrilled to have Bud Light as the official beer of AFR. And we appreciate everyone who continues to participate because they keep just giving us all these great giveaways. From College World Series tickets, we had LSU Alabama tickets we gave away. We've given away Saints tickets. We gave away those Garth Brooks Suite tickets in the Dome, all courtesy of our friends at Mockler Beverage. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light this football season. All right, it is After Further Review. We'll knock out our first break of the show. When we come back, we got 2 segments with Phil Steele. It is championship weekend in college football, so 10 games. We'll do 2 segments with Phil, preview 5 games the first segment, 5 games the second segment. We'll go chronologically. We'll get Phil's picks on all of the games this football weekend. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Glow Resources, complete employer solutions. That's Glow Resources. If you're a business owner and you're looking to hire and having trouble with this job market, let Glow Resources help. They're complete employer solutions. This is not a job board. This is not a temp staffing agency. As a matter of fact, I don't mean to be too crude or abrasive with this, but if you're an employee, they don't want to talk to you. Like, they'll find you. Glow will go find the qualified employees that they'll have on board to be able to help their clients. At Glow, they don't work for the employee. They work for you, the business owner. They work for the employer to find you the best possible candidate for the job that you have. And it's not just in Baton Rouge. Yeah, they got an office in Baton Rouge, in New Orleans, but also in Miami and in Dallas and in Houston. And they can service companies all over the world. It's Glow Resources. GLO. Look them up online. GlowResources.com.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find him on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Well, our last formal Football Friday of the season, but it wouldn't be Football Friday if we weren't chatting with our buddy Phil Steele, who's been kind enough to do this with us on this show for I don't even know how many years now, but we appreciate him greatly. Phil, we appreciate you on this championship weekend. How are you, man?
You know, I am doing great, Matt. How about yourself?
Doing awesome. Wish the Tigers were playing this weekend. Kind of wish Bo Nix had lost last weekend, but we have some rooting interests. We'll get to that, though. We got 10 games. Let's run through them, and we'll just go chronologically, Phil. We'll start with the two tonight. And first up is the CUSA Championship with New Mexico State against 24th-ranked Liberty. And, Phil, obviously Liberty's got a lot to play for if they win or remain undefeated. I would assume that they would be in the driver's seat. They and Tulane obviously are jockeying for that New Year's 6 spot. So a lot on the line for Liberty as I'm looking at it now, a 10.5-point favorite.
Yeah, it should be a great game. And the big question here is how do you go against either one of these teams? I mean, Liberty's been a spread darling all season long, going 9-3 against the spread. Unfortunate backdoor cover for them last week in their game against UTEP. And then New Mexico State simply won their last 8 in a row, both straight up and against the spread. So you got two teams that are not only winning games, but winning the games against the spread, which is pretty important. So I think it's going to be a key battle. I do think Liberty's the better team. They're at home. They beat them already earlier in the season, but now they've got to beat them twice. I'll go with the fact that Liberty's just 3-10 against the spread as a double-digit favorite their last 13. So I'm going to lean a little bit with New Mexico State. They're getting right now they're getting 10.5 on the road. I'm going to go with New Mexico State plus the points, but it's tough to go against either one of these two teams.
Yeah, and Phil, that is a good point that I failed to mention, that this isn't a neutral site game. That is at Liberty there in Lynchburg tonight. A game that is a neutral site game is the one that everybody here is going to be keeping a close eye on, because not only will it have playoff implications, but also Heisman implications. Let's start with the game itself, Phil. It's Oregon and Washington. This line is interesting, Phil, because it's very clearly this is a sharp play against the public, and the sharps are all on Oregon, and the public's on Washington because they're looking at the Huskies undefeated and saying they're getting that many points. But Phil, very clearly, these are two teams that over the last month have been playing at a completely different level. So everyone here is hoping Washington steps up and maybe stops the Bo Nix hype train. How likely do you think that might be tonight?
Yeah, I think when you look at these two teams, just watching them over the last couple of weeks or since their matchup when they played, and even in that game, I thought Oregon was the better team. I mean, they had a 32-24 first down edge, 541 to 415 yard edge. They had 3 opportunities on fourth down where they convert any one of them, they win the game, and that was in Husky Stadium. Now we're at a neutral site, and since that game, Washington's been barely beaten weaker teams. Arizona State by 8, Stanford by 9, Washington State last week by 3, a game I thought they were outplayed.
Yeah.
Washington State had a 381, 306-yard edge, deserved to win. They do have Michael Penix, but who's got the better run game? Clearly, Oregon does. They're averaging nearly 6 yards per carry, almost 200 yards per game on the ground. Who's got the better passing game or the better quarterback? I'm going to go with Bo Nix. He's hitting nearly 80% with a 37-2 ratio. Michael Penix has tossed 8 interceptions this year. And who's got the better defense? That's where the Cards really slam down on Oregon. They're holding opponents to 76 yards per game below their season average. Washington just has an average defense at that. So you've got the clearly much better team playing with revenge. And I don't think they let up here. This is a very impressive Oregon team that is number 1 in my AGG, or average game grade, on philsteele.com. I like the Ducks to win this one by double digits.
Yeah, that's a very sharp play, and this does feel it. I think you'd agree with that. It's very much the sharps are on the Ducks, and the public seems like they're very much on Washington. And well, generally, you're wise to lay your bread with the sharps. But I did want to ask about the Heisman. We talked about it a week ago. That we've seen a lot of line movement move toward Bo Nix, very likely because he's going to have this stage to himself tonight. What do you think is a realistic possibility for Jayden Daniels, or a scenario that could unfold that could benefit him?
I think, well, first of all, if Oregon loses tonight, I believe that Jayden Daniels would win the Heisman at that point, because it's always what your last impression is, really has an influence on you as a voter. And I think Daniels would win it hands down at that point. But if Nick struggles tonight, let's say he throws for just 200 yards and they win the game, not because of Bo Nix, but he has an average game, then I think Daniels is still the front runner. But if Nix goes out there and dazzles tonight and Oregon looks really impressive, then once again, your last impression is your biggest impression, and I think Nix would win it at that point.
One other question on the Heisman, Phil, while I got you here. And a lot of people here have asked, do you think there's a possibility that Nix and Penix splitting West Coast vote could maybe benefit Jayden Daniels?
I guess it would. Once again, it goes back to tonight's game. I mean, if Nix is impressive and they blow away Washington, then I don't think there's going to be very much vote splitting there. I think Nix will handle the West Coast votes, and Nix will impress the country. But if it's a game where Washington wins, then yes, I think Jayden Daniels would benefit from that. And if it's a game where Nix is not impressive, and let's say Penix throws for 450 yards in a Herculean effort and they lose, then I think there would be some vote splitting. But I think the bottom line is Nix has to go out and have a big game, or else Daniels probably wins it.
Phil Steele's with us, presented by Gage, Louisiana's #1 Cummins dealer. Get your quote at GageGenerators.com. That's GageGenerators.com. Phil, let's jump to Saturday. The 11 a.m. Central Time kickoff on ABC. It's the Big 12 Championship. Texas is poised to be the beneficiary, Phil. I think you'd agree if one of those teams falters to hop on into the playoff. They're ranked 7th. They're 11-1, and they're a 15-point favorite against Oklahoma State. Does Texas continue their role?
You know, I've been riding the Cowboys all year, Matt, but I'm jumping off that horse this week. They have not been impressive the last 3 weeks. Ever since that Oklahoma win, they got blown out by UCF. The next week against Houston, they actually trailed that game 23-19 at the half, had me sweating. I was very happy to get the cover there. And then last week against BYU, they were down 24-6 at the half. They got lucky to win that game. Now, the one thing they might have going for them, remember last year's game between Oklahoma State and Texas? 14 penalties on Texas, none on Oklahoma State. How does that happen? And you got to think this is the Big 12 title game with Oklahoma State staying and Texas not. That would probably be their best hope. But Texas is the much better team. You look at these guys physically, they're big, they're strong, they're fast. They've got the better quarterback with Quinn Ewers. I mean, Alan Bowman's got a 10-11 ratio. It's 10 touchdown passes, 11 interceptions this year. Offensive line, Texas gets the edge. Receivers, big edge to Texas there with Worthy and Mitchell and Sanders. And defense, not even a question. You look at defensively, Oklahoma State's given up 446 yards per game in league play, allowing opponents 30 yards above their season average. Texas, meanwhile, holding opponents to 69 yards below their season average. And Texas gets every opponent's best shot all season long. That hasn't really been the case with Oklahoma State. They sort of slid in under the radar and won a lot of games as a dog. So add it all up, I think Texas clearly the much better team. I like the Longhorns to win this one by 21 points or more.
Wow. Big win for the Longhorns. And, Phil, that would probably poise them for a spot in the college football playoff if some breaks go their way. Let's talk about the other two, the G5 games. We'll come back and preview the afternoon and evening slate. The MAC championship, you got Miami of Ohio sitting there at 10-2 against Toledo, which has been the class of the MAC, 8-0 in the conference. They're 11-1 on the season. This one's at Ford Field in Detroit. Do you like the Rockets, Phil, or the upset-minded Redhawks?
Well, I do think Toledo wins the game. They're the best team in the MAC. I mean, watching them all season long, they've got the run game with Penny Boone. They've got the quarterback with DeQuan Finn, who's been dynamic. 21 touchdown passes, just 8 interceptions. He's also got 530 yards rushing. Offensive line, Toledo. In fact, you just look at these two teams offensively, it's not even close. Toledo's averaging 431 yards per game. Miami lost their quarterback, Brett Gabbert, like 5 weeks ago, only averaging 333 yards per game. Now, defensively, these two teams are pretty close. Slight edge there to Miami, and they did play a few weeks back. The game that Gabbert got injured and out for the year. At that point, Toledo was up something like 21-3 at the half, and Miami did rally and only lost the game by 4. It's one of those where Miami's just scrappy. They somehow hang around. They're sort of playing Iowa ball this year, not extremely explosive on offense, but they do it with defense and special teams. I like Toledo to win the game. Personally, I'm not going to wager on it, but I would have to say with the line at 7.5, I would lean with Miami plus the points, but I just think it'll be an interesting game, and Toledo wins it outright.
And then in the Mountain West, an un-Boise-like overall record at 7-5, but 6-2 in the Mountain West. They'll take on UNLV. That's the 2:00 game on Fox. That also is at Allegiant Stadium there in Vegas, where of course the Runnin' Rebs play their home games now. Boise, UNLV. The Broncos are a 2-point favorite, Phil.
Yeah, and I was sort of hoping to get them as a dog this week. Remember, they fired their coach, Andy Avalos, 2 weeks ago, and have played well. They were playing well, though, with Avalos. I mean, they were in contention for the Mountain West title, and they got there. Very impressive win over Utah State and a nice win over Air Force last week. The thing I really like about Boise this week in this game is that their running backs are finally fully healthy. They've got Ashton Genty, who's, if you've never watched a Boise game, watch this guy. He's one of the more electrifying running backs out there. He was having a great year, and then he missed 2 games with injury, but he's back to full health, had 107 yards against Air Force. And then George Helani has just been one of their dominant running backs for the last, seems like 10 years, but it's been about 6. Except he's had a very banged-up injury-plagued career. Now, he missed 6 games this year with injury, but when Genty went down, he stepped in and had 178 yards against Utah State. They've got a solid running back combo, and they've got a mobile quarterback in Taylon Green who can hurt your running as well. In the last 2 games, UNLV's allowed 344 yards rushing, 5.5 yards per carry, 233 yards rushing, 5.8 yards per carry. So I think Boise is able to run. You look at the 2 team schedules, Boise's played the tougher schedule this year. Their non-conference slate was really tough. Washington, UCF, Memphis, with Memphis and Washington on the road. That's why they have 5 losses this year. I just think they're the better team. They're used to championship games like this. They've played in a bunch. UNLV's in their first. I'm going to go with Boise minus the 2.5 in that one.
All right, he is Phil Steele. Of course, take that Phil Steele Plus tour over at the Phil Steele YouTube channel. Get to philsteele.com. That's STEELE, philsteele.com. We're going to knock out a quick break, come back with Phil. We'll preview the rest of the slate Saturday, including the SEC Championship, the Big Ten Championship, and the ACC Championship. Stay with us here. It's AFR.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
Everything was seamless and about as easy and stress-free as can be. Darren and his team were easily accessible for my million questions and guided me every step of the way. They communicated with me every step of the process, made it all very easy to understand, even the marketing approach Darren and his team took. I appreciate Darren so much for all the kindness and assistance. That is another 5-star review for Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty. If you are thinking about selling your home, call the best. Remember, Darren guarantees he'll sell your home at a price by a deadline you agree to. If he doesn't, he'll have your home bought with cash or he'll sell it absolutely free. Go to agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Or you can always call 335-7666, 335-7666 for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. $20,000 off plus no payments for 90 days on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Tom Granick with Gil Martin, Wardo's Po' Boys in Natchez, Mississippi. On behalf of the Granick family, we invite you to run, walk, or stroll in the second annual Rudolph Roll. Held on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, this holiday event will kick off at 8 a.m. on December 9th and will include a 10K, 5K, and 1 mile kids fun run. Along with the race, there will be live music, drinks, and of course, Po' Boys. We're looking forward to an even bigger party this year. For more information, please check out the link on Wardo's Facebook page or scan the QR code. Hope to see y'all there.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, we continue with Phil Steele. Our chats every week brought to you by Gage, Louisiana's #1 Cummins dealer. Visit GageGenerators.com for your free quote, GageGenerators.com. Okay, Phil, let's jump into the afternoon slate on Saturday, and we'll start it with the American Athletic Championship down in New Orleans at Yulman. Tulane's hosting SMU. The Wave are a 3-point favorite and trying to make it back-to-back New Year's 6 appearances, but they got to get past the Ponies first. Phil, can the Green Wave get it done?
I think they do get it done this week, and I got to be honest, I thought SMU was the better team this season. You look at how they've been blowing opponents out on a weekly basis. Tulane's been just getting by a lot of weeks, but SMU is going to be without their starting quarterback, Preston Stone. So taking a guy like Kevin Jennings, who's played well. He's got 3 touchdown passes in limited time this year, but throwing him against that Tulane defense, which, as you know, can create a lot of havoc, 33 sacks this year. They can get after the quarterback, cause a lot of mistakes. I also like the veteran leadership of Michael Pratt, so I'm going to go with Tulane to get that one at home.
Phil, let's also preview the Sun Belt, where Troy is going to host Appalachian State there at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Trojans are a 5.5-point favorite, 10-2, another fine season, and they got the Mountaineers coming in. You like the homestanding Trojans or upset-minded Appalachian State?
Well, I guess the key with App State over the last couple of years has simply been, are they favorite or an underdog? And when they've been a favorite, they've been pretty poor. They've been upset many times as a favorite, had a lot of close wins as a favorite. But make App State an underdog and look out. They were a large underdog at North Carolina, ranked North Carolina earlier in the year, nearly pulled off the upset, lost that one by 6 points. The next time they were a dog was at Georgia State. They won that thing 42-14. They were a dog against James Madison, and they gave James Madison their only loss of the year, a very impressive 26-23 road win. And they're also a dog at Wyoming, a game that they actually pushed. And while they lost that game, they had a 27-7 first down edge, 417 to 208 yard edge. They're the dog. They're playing well. You look at Joey Aguilar at the quarterback spot, 33 touchdown passes, just 9 interceptions. Noel and Roberts give them the run game. I think Troy does have the better defense, and they've got a very dynamic running back in Vidal, who's got 1,350 yards this year. But I just take App State anytime they're a dog in a possible upset here. I like App State.
All right, Phil, a couple of appetizers there in the afternoon window before we get into the entrees, the main course, and we got some really good ones. We'll start in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, #1 Georgia, #8 Alabama. Phil, I'm sure you know this. The last time Alabama was a 5-point underdog, it's almost stunning just to see it on paper. We're just so used to seeing Alabama favored and playing for a playoff. Phil, I don't see really a path forward barring just a massacre all day Saturday that would open the door for Alabama to get in the playoff even if they beat Georgia. I know Nick Saban's lobbying for it, but first things first, they got to get past Georgia. Georgia's never beaten Alabama in the SEC championship game. Do the Dogs continue their win streak and get it done on Saturday?
I think if Alabama wins and they're the SEC champion with a win over #1 Georgia, it would be the most impressive win of the year of anybody, and they would be the SEC champ. I think Alabama would get in. So it's just my personal take on it. But
do you think they'd get in over, say, Texas? If Texas is a one-loss conference champion with a win over Bama?
Yeah, I mean, you got to wonder about Florida State. You got to wonder a lot of things going out there right now. But I think the SEC champ would get in, personally. SEC just I know they didn't have a great non-conference year this year, but really the SEC is the premier conference out there. But anyway, going to this particular game, does Alabama have a chance? And I think they clearly do. I think it's going to be a great game. As you touched on, make Nick Saban a dog and look out. In fact, since 2008, that's a long time. They've only been an underdog 7 times, and they've got 5 outright upsets. Generally, they do pull the upset. They win, I think, all 3 times they've been an underdog here in the SEC championship game. They've won. So it's tough to discount these guys. And while they struggled against Auburn last week, remember, Georgia struggled in Jordan-Hare as well. Yep. They trailed that thing 20-13 in the third quarter, escaped with a 7-point win, a game Auburn ran the ball for 219 yards on them. So I think both teams struggled in Jordan-Hare this year. I do think Georgia is the slightly better team, but I love what Jalen Milroe can do at Alabama at quarterback. I think Georgia's got the slightly better defense, but Bama's is really good. In fact, they're holding opponents to 91 yards per game below their season average, #8 in the country. So they've got the run game. They've got the dynamic quarterback. I think it's going to be a great game. anything over 3, I'm taking the dog in this one. So I'm taking Alabama plus the points, and I think it will be one of the best games we've seen this year.
All right, a couple more for you, Phil. The largest spread that we see on Championship Saturday is going to be out in the Big Ten, where Michigan is eyeballing another trip to the college football playoff. They're a 22-point favorite over Iowa, which, I mean, Phil, God bless them for getting there and being 10-2, but man, they have just got no offense whatsoever. It's almost been a punchline talking about these totals and playing the under on Iowa games all season. Can Iowa make this a game, Phil? Can they make it interesting into the fourth quarter?
I think they can. I love Kirk Ferentz. I mean, he is one of the best head coaches out there. He's not interested in flash and dash. It's all substance with him. They've got the defense. And look at what's happened to this team. They lost their Cooper DeJean, their top cornerback, out for the year. They come into the season thinking Cade McNamara is going to turn around this quarterback position. He's out for the year. They go with Deacon Hill, who's only completing under 50% of his passes, 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So they really lack a passing game. They do have a decent run game, though, with LaShawn Williams and Caleb Johnson. Of course, they've got the defense, holding opponents to 79 yards per game below their season average. Somehow, some way, they stay in these games. Now, a couple of years ago, they gave Michigan a good game in the first half, and then it turned into a blowout in the second half. That is a possibility here, but I think Michigan's in a massive letdown spot, a massive favorite for the game, and I just think Iowa hangs with them. Now, my best play on the game, Matt, guess what?
Is the under?
Yeah, I'm going with the under again. I was sweating 24.5 last week, but it was 23, and like I said, I was sweating it, but you got to keep playing it. And one of my philosophies, Matt, is you just play on streaks. When you play on a streak, you can win many times, and you lose how many times?
Once.
You lose once.
Something you've told us many, many times here. It's a great philosophy to play by. Look, Phil, I mean, that worked with us with Oklahoma State for a bulk of this season, where they just kept on winning. You just kept on riding. Okay, so Michigan to win, but we like the under in that game. Okay, Phil, the last one might be the most intriguing. Because what do you make of Louisville, Florida State in the ACC when there's no Jordan Travis? And, Phil, we have seen that line continue to plummet, and it's all the way down to Florida State -2. You've told us all year, Louisville, different team at home than on the road. They lost at home last week to Kentucky. Now a giant challenge even without Jordan Travis. How do you start to make sense of this one?
Yeah, well, at least they're not on the road for this one. It's a neutral site, so that's a good thing in Louisville's case. And the Kentucky game was I had Louisville last week, Matt, and
Me too.
They were up by 10. I felt good because they were the better team. They were out playing them, and then kick return touchdown. They're up by 10 again. I felt good, and then fumble. There was numerous fumbles that went against them. They were -2 in turnovers, key turnovers in the game. They had a 23-16 first down edge. They had a 403, 289-yard edge. But they ended up losing the game last week. But they'll be ready for this. Remember, Coach Brown was in the Big Ten championship game last year, so he's familiar with this type of settings. And with Florida State, from what I'm hearing, Rodemaker may even be in concussion protocol right now. So it's a rumor that I just heard. Chris told me about that one. We'll see what happens. But if he doesn't play, look out. Because last year, Rodemaker did play against Louisville last year. In fact, when you got to the half, it was 21-14 Louisville, and they announced that Travis was out, and it's going to be Rodemaker in the second half. I thought, slam dunk. Louisville's going to crush Florida State here, and yet Rodemaker led them to 3 touchdowns in the second half and a 35-31 win over Louisville. Now, I know last week they only had 224 yards of offense. We'll see what they can get this week. Louisville does have a very good defense, one that shuts down opponents generally on the ground. But I think it's going to be an interesting game. I'm actually leaning a little bit, though, with Louisville. I think they're the more complete team right now with the fact they've got Jack Plummer there in a 21-11 ratio. And that may just open up the door for an Alabama and a Texas both to make the playoff this year.
It is going to be a fascinating weekend, championship weekend it always is, and it's always great to chat with Phil Steele. Our chats all year brought to you by Gage, Louisiana's #1 Cummins dealer. Visit GageGenerators.com. Phil, hopefully we get a chance to chat some time along the line during bowl season, but I do want to, of course, thank you, man, for being a part of our show every Friday during Football Friday. You just add so much credibility and content. I know our audience loves it. And of course, we love telling people about the the Phil Steele Plus Tour, which I did watch this morning, by the way. So why don't you remind us one more time about the Phil Steele Plus Tour, which is a special championship edition, is up right now.
Yeah, championship edition up now, and a nice 5-0 week for the selections last week, 26-12 over the last 8 weeks. Check it out. It's only one selection this week, but you also get 2 quick hitters, so do make sure you check it out. It's the Phil Steele Plus Tour, absolutely free. And just go to philsteele.com. It's right there at the front, and you just click on it, and it's on the YouTube channel.
I hate to give him the spoiler, Phil, but the selection is the Pac-12 championship game, and everybody here is cheering like hell against Oregon this weekend. Man, we're all pulling like crazy for Michael Penix to get it done tonight. Phil, it's our pleasure, man. Thank you again so much for making time every Friday here during football season. We'll look forward to talking to you soon, man.
Awesome, Matt. Appreciate you having me on all year once again this year. Thanks a lot.
It is our pleasure. That is the one and only Phil Steele. This is After Further Review. We'll knock out a quick break. Stay here.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Pluckers. Of course, if you need a place to watch all the football championship weekend, no place better than Pluckers. 2 locations, Nicholson just south of campus and Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. As we mentioned, you got 2 games tonight. You got right at 6 o'clock when we get off air, the CUSA Championship. New Mexico State and Liberty will tee it up and kick it off. Of course, New Mexico State just a couple of weeks ago, the big winner over Auburn. They're taking on Liberty. They're in Lynchburg. You want a place to watch? That's on CBS Sports Network, by the way. A lot of people don't have CBS Sports Network. If you don't, Pluckers does. You could watch it there. And then the big one at 7 o'clock tonight with Oregon and Washington. You need a place to watch, get by Pluckers. Award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV, or spend all day championship Saturday. Maybe go to the Bluebonnet location, hand your wife the credit card, let her go do all the Christmas shopping. You set up shop at Pluckers, eat wings, drink beer, watch football all day long. Few better ways to spend a Saturday. It's at Pluckers. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. It's Pluckers. And remember, at Pluckers, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs.
after further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Real quick, as we wrap up hour number one, hat tip Reed DeSalvo on Twitter. We opened the show and talked about LSU getting 2 commitments. We talked about Keylan Moses, of course, last night. They mentioned Antonio Alfano, who in 2019 was a former number 1 overall prospect in the country. And he tipped me off and said, hey, that's probably not a legitimate commitment. Did a Google search earlier. It's on Yahoo and half dozen other websites that have it. His Twitter has it and all that stuff. But texted some people in the break, and apparently the kid is reportedly mentally unstable and has reported a lot of offers that maybe aren't legitimate. So I'm going to retract that, pump the brakes, and my apologies. So if there is an offer that comes down further, we'll discuss. But it appears as of now that everybody that's reported it, those that have reported it are wrong, that's not a legitimate accepted commitment. So we'll wait and see if that comes on down the line. Now, something that is confirmed is 5-star wide receiver Cam Coleman has flipped from Texas A&M to Auburn. Hayes Fawcett, of course, who does all the edits and works for On3 now, does an awesome job. Hayes Fawcett, who's from Louisiana, shared this just a bit ago. So 5-star wide receiver Cam Coleman has flipped from Texas A&M to Auburn. He's a top 5 recruit in the class of 2024, and he's been committed to Texas A&M since July. So obviously, you're starting to see other programs take aim at that Texas A&M class. I mean, LSU's already flipped a 5-star from Texas A&M. Now Auburn's done it, and there's other players at the top of that commitment list that LSU and the rest of the country could very well be targeting. So we'll keep an eye on this and this Texas A&M class for 2024. And I saw the news earlier today that Gabe Relaford, the defensive lineman out of Evangel and Shreveport, is taking an official visit to LSU this weekend. So the possibility of flipping a defensive lineman where LSU needs help, and one of the top players in Louisiana, ranked by On3 is the number 6 player in Louisiana. So we'll keep an eye on Gabe Relaford as well. Look, Mike Elko has a hell of a job ahead of him, trying to keep that Texas A&M class together, considering the struggles that they've had on the field, and obviously Jimbo being fired and that staff being disassembled. So could be to LSU's gain after this weekend, but Auburn has flipped another 5-star there away from Texas A&M. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by our friends over at DraftKings, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Hey, college football championship weekend is here. Phil Steele was just with us, gave you a pick on all 10 games. You want to bet on them with Phil and with me? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. If you're a new customer, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge, one word, Baton Rouge. Make a $5 NBA bet, any NBA bet. Make a $5 NBA bet. They'll give you $150 in bonus bets instantly, win or lose. So it could be money line, spread, total, anything. Make a $5 NBA bet with the promo code Baton Rouge. They'll give you $150 in bonus bets instantly, win or lose. That's at the DraftKings Sportsbook. You can bet on college football. The NFL championship weekend is here. Make your futures bets. You can do it all at the DraftKings Sportsbook. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. DraftKings, the crown is yours. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana, select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Licensing partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537. All right, we're a little out of order, but let's do it right now. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Georgia Bulldogs.
All right, Georgia's going to go into the SEC championship game with an uncertain injury report about the availability of Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey. Also, receiver Ra Thomas and offensive lineman Tate Ratledge have been a little banged up. Kirby Smart was asked for an update, said he doesn't have answers now that he didn't have on Monday. So we'll see about the availability of Georgia's top 2 pass catchers.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Speaking of injuries, Nick Saban calls running back Jace McClellan questionable against Georgia. McClellan reportedly dealing with a foot injury that was recently re-aggravated. Of course, Georgia, and Alabama play Saturday at 3 o'clock in the SEC championship game.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
South Carolina receiver Juice Wells says he is entering the transfer portal. Decision is a bit of a surprise because he did tweet a couple of weeks ago that he's not leaving for the NFL and planned to return to South Carolina. So he began his career at James Madison, 2 years there before jumping to South Carolina, but apparently will finish his career elsewhere.
the Missouri Tigers.
And Missouri edge DJ Wesolak says he'll enter the transfer portal. As a recruit, he was the number 171 overall. Sorry, Paulie. I mean, I buzzed the tower there, didn't I? Oh, my goodness. You didn't even flinch, dude. I crumpled up the paper and threw it in the trash can. I mean, I missed Paulie's hair by a hair. Oh, I mean, you were like Kobe when they tried to hit, when they tried to throw the ball in Kobe's face, he didn't even flinch. Who was that? Who was the player trying to throw the ball at Kobe? I'll have to look it up. Anyway. Wesolak was the number 171 overall prospect in the 2022 class, the number 4 recruit in the state of Missouri. Played in 5 games as a freshman with no stats recorded. He'll continue his career elsewhere. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products, the official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers, the New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, the Raging Cajuns, and the Baton Rouge Zydeco. It's Gulf Coast Office Products. One other bit of news here. It's been a very newsy day, and as you can imagine, with the transfer portal officially opening on Monday, a lot of players are making their announcements now, whether they're staying, going, whatever may happen. LSU cornerback LaTerrence Welch just finished up his sophomore year in Baton Rouge, announced that he is entering the transfer portal. So the second Tiger that we know of that's made their intention known that they are entering the transfer portal. We found out earlier this week about running back Armani Goodwin. Now LaTerrence Welch says he'll finish his career elsewhere. Get some more thoughts on that in the cornerback room a bit later in the show, but just to kind of give you the news as it is right now. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. A Sports Center coming up. We'll get you caught up on national headlines when we come back. Terrio returns, the Riot Radio Hour. Stick around, it's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. Y'all, we are inching closer to Christmas. If you're going to be heading out for that Christmas vacation when the kids are out of school, maybe going on a trip, going to see family in other parts of the country, you want to get that vehicle right, take it to Shawbills. Remember, if it's time to buy tires, nobody is going to sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices like Shawbills. As a matter of fact, Shawbills has their price match guarantee. If you buy tires at Shawbills and then find the same tires advertised cheaper anywhere, they will give you 125% of the difference. It's Shawbills. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. Get to the website, hit the promotions tab. You can see all of the specials they have there at the website. You can use the chat function on the website, which is so easy to use if you want to schedule service or talk to an associate. It's all right there for you at ShawbillsTire.com, and find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. For more than 50 years, it's Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
Relentless reporting gets results.
I'm never going to stop until we get the answers you need.
Uncovering more as the powerful try to cover things up.
What happens in the dark will always come to light.
Founding new principles and practices for the state of Louisiana.
Chief Investigative Reporter Chris Nakamoto.
Chris Nakamoto and the Investigative Unit. Recipients of Columbia University's prestigious DuPont Award.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. $20,000 off plus no payments for 90 days on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Championship weekend in college football. Tonight, the Pac-12 championship at 8 Eastern on ABC and ESPN Radio. Third-ranked Washington and number 5 Oregon. Number 24 Liberty plays New Mexico State in Conference USA. 8 title games tomorrow, including number 1 Georgia and 8th-ranked Alabama in the SEC. ESPN's Heather Dinich believes both teams could make the playoff if Alabama wins.
There's a written protocol that the committee members have. And if everyone in the room deems Georgia unequivocally one of the 4 best teams in the country, all the other tiebreakers and everything else goes out the window. The bottom line is they can do whatever they want to do.
Heather Dinich on Greeny. Steelers safety Minkah Fitzpatrick says he expects to play Sunday against the Cardinals. He's been out for 5 weeks with a sore hamstring. Luka Doncic of the Mavericks is out tonight against the Grizzlies after the birth of his first child. It'll be the first game he's missed this season.
Are you overwhelmed by insurance? Make it easy. Get all your insurance in one place with Geico. Plus, get 24/7 claim support and on-the-go policy access with the award-winning Geico mobile app. See how easy insurance can be and go to geico.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You picture better reload.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot. Presented by Alpha Customs. Alpha Customs, Prairieville and Lafayette. And online at alphacustoms.net.
How's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
I did have a good idea. I'm full of good ideas.
Here comes Theriot. The throw. Not in time. Scudero delivers and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
The wave pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd, provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Theriot around third. He heads for home. Here's the throw. He is safe. Tigers win. Tigers win. Go.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Alondra Villarreal. Hey! You are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Felt good to do that. Yeah, bruh.
Yeah.
Hadn't been able to do that in like 3 weeks.
Why do these headphones have COVID? 100%. These headphones have COVID. Look at that, bro. What is that? What is that? You got COVID phones.
I would like to point out.
Look at this.
Yeah, they're old.
What are we doing?
And clearly, a lot of the padding on the earphones are it happens. It wilts. It disintegrates.
H1N1, bro. That's what that is.
I think isn't H1N1? Isn't that bird flu?
Bird flu.
Yeah. What are you doing? Just stop messing with it.
Because I'm not putting this on my face.
Then go get different headphones. Or better yet, you've done radio with me for a decade. Buy your own damn headphones.
No, dog.
You cheap bastard.
It's not part of the deal.
What are you talking about?
That's y'all are supposed to provide this for me.
No, that's not the way that this works.
And now I'm gonna get ear
Alondra,
hurt.
do you own headphones? You work in radio every day. Do you own headphones?
Yes.
Paula, you work in radio. Do you own headphones?
Yes, I own.
Yeah, that's what you do. You've come here long enough. You can own your headphones.
I'm not putting that on my face.
If you have a key card, you can get headphones.
Somebody better talk. I'll walk away.
It's disgusting.
Anyways.
For those of you that can't see, that are listening on the radio, the headphones 1,000,000% have there is an infectious disease that's associated with these headphones. And the padding is peeling off, and I refuse to put this crap on my face. It's not happening. It's disgusting. I can smell them. There's a smell to them. I'm not wearing them. Hold on. Let me unplug them. Okay. Throw that away. Oh, look at this.
What?
Look at that.
Just put the headphones on your damn head.
Bro. Now you're going to get the crap in my... Now I'm going to get lice.
Oh, my God. Then don't wear headphones. Just don't wear headphones.
Is this backwards?
You look stupid.
Yeah, well...
No, it's not the headphones. It's your stupid mustache that makes you look stupid right now. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We didn't get to do this last week because it was Good Friday or Black Friday, and you didn't come in. And then 2 weeks ago, we were at Rouse's. So we didn't get to do and you left early, so we didn't get to do our full-on Riot Radio Hour. So it's been a minute since we got to do this. I'm glad to see you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing
What's going on? You're still struggling to plug that in?
Yeah. These,
you just broke them.
Good. They were already broken.
You just broke them.
They were already broken.
He threw it on the ground. Look, pick that up. Look, just hand it to me. Look, he picked it. Here, just hand it to me. Look, he threw it on the ground, and he broke this off.
They were already broken. I can't get mad at Gordy, though, because Gordy did me a solid, so I'm not going to get mad at Gordy.
What did Gordy do for you?
Not going to get mad at Gordy, but I am going to come in here. I'm coming in here with my own headphones next time.
Good.
Because that's ridiculous.
It only took you a decade.
Well.
Hey, when you went to play baseball every day, did you show up hoping to use somebody else's bat?
Maybe.
Did you show up hoping to use somebody else's glove?
Jock?
I'm sorry?
Jock?
Oh, did you show up trying to use somebody else's cup?
Maybe.
No, you had your own. Bring your headphones.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Go get you some bomb-ass headphones and start to bring them.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Been a busy week. It's been a great week for T3. This has been a banner T3 week that we'll talk about later. But the week's been good. Big football game tonight I'm excited about.
Yeah, Oregon and Washington. Big one.
No.
Not that one?
Bears and Rummel.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not a big game. I
think it is.
The game's already been played. It's already been decided there, Big Bad Rye Guy.
All right.
Well, I mean, why are they even bothering teeing it up and kicking it off?
Really?
You think Catholic's going to lose to Rummel? Get out of here. I mean, the championship was last weekend, all right? When we took care of those Curtis Patriots, Pimp slapped him in the face and sent him back home.
So I'm excited.
Championship was done.
So I'm excited.
By the way, I have tremendous respect for JT Curtis and the job he's done. I'm playing a role here.
Shout out.
Legend. And I have tremendous respect for him because he's always said no matter how small the school is, he'll play any level, any classification, and I respect that tremendously.
No, he's
who I have no respect for are the moronic principals who screwed up the entire high school athletic association in our state because they're loser morons who want everybody to have a trophy.
Yeah,
idiots. You're all idiots. And I wish I could use all the bad words right now to describe you.
So we got a big game. It's been a good week. Finally got a little rain, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what happens when it rains?
Yeah, phone's been ringing at HUDCO.
HUDCO phones.
Big time. We're here for you.
Ain't no coincidence I'm wearing my HUDCO shirt today.
We're here for you, the people.
There we are. HUDCOroofing.com.
They're getting wet right now. But no, it's been a good week. And so I had a few things happen. I've been out and about. I moved, and so I've been running the roads quite a bit. We've got a new house now, and
Atta boy.
Yeah, and so I've been kind of going from old house to new house, kind of moving some stuff, and so I've been riding the mean streets of BR a little bit more than usual in some areas I don't normally go to. So I've got a letter here that kind of has a little bit something to do with that, and kind of just wanted to share that with you guys a little bit if I could.
Yeah, no, I'd love to hear it.
It's Friday evening.
Would love to hear it. Yeah. By the way, you're not fooling anybody with a Coke cup. We know you're dipping. Yeah. We all know it. Everybody.
It's all good. Yeah, I get it. I didn't try to hide that. If I'd have been trying to hide it, I'd have gone up like that.
Okay.
I ain't trying to hide that. I didn't try to hide that. All right, here we go.
You can take the top off.
Yeah, dear freaks that approach cars in traffic and ask for things. Okay. It's very general, starting off very general, but I'm going to get more specific once we get going with this. Okay, these people come in all shapes and sizes. They come in all nationalities and ethnicities.
That would be ethnicities.
That's what it says.
That's the word.
These people come in all shapes and sizes. They come in all nationalities and all ethnicities.
No. And that's also why you need headphones, so you stay on mic, because you don't realize you're fading away from the mic.
Well, if they worked, I would have worn them.
If you would bring your own damn headphones, you'd have them.
These people approach your vehicle for a number of reasons, which all are aggravating and piss people off.
That's true.
Let's start with the dudes wearing the neon orange vests who like to stand in the major intersections holding milk jugs with some made-up story about a shelter that they're raising money for. It's the most official, unofficial group on the panhandling scene. Okay? They're all dressed alike. They all got the milk jugs. And they all have the same story for the most part.
The milk jugs.
Yep.
They do.
The story's made up, and I'm not buying it, okay? One thing that this group does, though, which is interesting, it shows a lot of effort, is they all have little small cutout pieces of paper with some information about the made-up story that they're forcing into your vehicle.
Yeah.
So they have the little pieces of paper. They want you to roll your window down real nice, huge smile. And then they force the paper into your vehicle that basically just says what they're saying to you. I'm always afraid that I get hand herpes when I touch that paper.
Hand herpes?
Yeah, or something. But I don't want to grab it, but they force it in the vehicle. That's group number one, and they're bullies.
Yeah,
that group is a bunch of bullies.
You feel so bad not rolling down your window.
I don't roll down my window any longer.
Yeah, I don't roll down.
I don't even make eye contact. I don't roll down. The whole thing's a lie. The orange vest is a lie.
Out of here.
Beat it.
Get out of here.
Okay. And this is one that I've seen recently a few times, and it's very interesting. You've got these foreign families that speak very little English, okay, that are in America. And they have a poster board that has their ask most of the time. And the words are misspelled on the poster board more times than not. Normally there's young kids there sitting there, and there's a little picnic going on somewhere close to where they're set up, where their camp is. I feel bad for them because the communication piece is obviously a struggle. But most of the time, these families, these people are dressed better than me. This one in particular group that I see, they have nice shoes on, nice, like everything's nice. You've got mom over here with 3 or 4 kids. They're having a picnic, some cheese and crackers or whatever. But then you got
cheese and crackers.
The guy asking for money. Okay. I don't give them anything. There's a language barrier there. I don't understand what they're saying. But that's
no soup for you.
They get nothing. Okay.
No soup for you.
Well, and this is a tough one because I'm a little. It's hard for me to say this because I don't want to go too hard. But I appreciate the spreading of the good word. Okay.
From the good book.
Doing the Lord's work is what we should all strive to do on a daily basis.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you're talking.
But yelling at oncoming traffic with a loudspeaker can be a little bit distracting to drivers. Okay? Especially new drivers. I've got 3 kids that are driving age, about to be driving age. I don't want someone yelling at them and pointing at them with a loudspeaker when they're trying to turn left or right or whatever it may be. I just don't think it's very safe.
When you're getting on I-10, you need to be of sound mind and body.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then these guys, they set up at campus out at LSU during like peak tailgate time, and they just scream at people.
It's not good.
With the loudspeaker and the microphone.
No, not good.
You're not getting your point across when you do that.
That's true.
In fact, I'd say you're actually probably doing the opposite. Yeah. Again, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but the delivery in that instance could use some work. Okay.
The old saying is you attract more flies with honey than vinegar. Be nice to people.
That's right.
Be nice to people, and people are going to be more receptive to your message. When you're yelling at me, talking about how I'm going to burn for all eternity in the fires of damnation and hell, I'm probably just going to keep walking away from you.
Yeah.
The message isn't penetrating.
No. It's actually doing the opposite.
I'm deflecting.
Yeah, it's going the other way.
I'm looking at you like you're the crazy one.
And this isn't really oncoming. This isn't really like traffic that people approach you, but these people do invade my privacy, and I don't like it at all. I don't like to answer the door when family and friends come over, okay?
Okay.
I really don't. You get the Ring doorbell. I've got all the window coverings and stuff to where nobody can see what's going on. If I don't want to talk to you, when I'm at home, I'm generally at home. You know, like you could call me or text me. If you see my vehicle there and you call me and text me and I don't answer, and don't knock on my door, it means I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to anyone. It's probably nothing personal. But the two young men dressed in short sleeve button-up white shirts with clip-on ties, wearing their bike helmets when they're not on their bike, that knock on my door need to stop. Okay. Again, like before,
They're just spreading the good word, man.
And I love that.
Taysom Hill was one of those guys. You know what I mean? Can you imagine if Taysom came and knocked on your door?
I wouldn't answer.
What are you going to do? You going to tell him go away, Taysom Hill?
Yes. I would not answer the door if Taysom came.
Steve Young. Steve Young's a Mormon, went to BYU.
So they have their missions, and I get it.
Yeah.
I understand that. You go on your mission, and you have to do that. But like the ones that are in Baton Rouge are rejects, bro. Can you imagine like being when they're picking missions?
Yeah.
You know,
the mission draft.
When they're like drafted missions, like the dudes that get Baton Rouge, they're like,
man, he gets to go to Denver.
I gotta go to Livingston Parish.
They got Miami.
So it's probably not like the best dude.
Steve gets to go to San Diego.
Right.
I got to go to Baton Rouge.
Right. So the guys that we're getting here in Baton Rouge, they're probably not like the top of the class, right? You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I'm not answering that. That's my private space. That's my stuff.
When you finish in the bottom third of your graduating class.
That's right.
That's where they send you.
That's where they send you.
You get to go knock on doors in Tigerland.
Yeah. As if you're not going to get shot in the face.
Do you have a few minutes? I'd like to spread a good word. No.
And this is back to traffic. You've got those who are obviously struggling with substance abuse. I'm most sympathetic to this crowd, as I know these people, they're not in their right mind. Once you start down that cycle, it's hard to get out of it, and they need help. Okay, so this group is the group that I will probably help out. Okay, more times than not. But you can't buy anything with spare change in 2023. All right, so here's my problem I have. I don't know that stores even take change anymore. I don't even, or like hard.
It's legal tender. They have to take it.
I mean, there was a time there during COVID, like there wasn't no change, bro. Like I don't know. I don't know somebody that walks around with a bunch of change in their pocket. Let me just say that. So don't ask for like some spare change or a few quarters. That's stupid.
Yeah. Nobody has change to begin with.
Nobody's got it.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody's got change. Get you a burner phone, get Cash App, and get
you some Venmo.
And get Venmo, okay? And this is just a little advice. Get Venmo, and then makes that whole transaction a lot easier.
Get the free Wi-Fi at McDonald's, something like that.
You can make it happen.
Yeah, you can make it happen.
All right. And then the last one is the Keep Tigertown Beautiful people.
Why are you messing with those people?
So I think it's commendable. I think it's great. But putting giant trash cans all over town so homeless people have a place to throw stuff away is crazy to me.
Okay.
I got some questions. What happens when the trash can gets full? Who takes the trash out? And when they take the trash out, where do they take it? What happens when the wind blows these trash cans into the road and you got oncoming traffic coming going 50 miles an hour and you're dodging blue trash cans like Frogger? Yeah. It just doesn't seem real safe to me. Doesn't sound like a great solution. Kind of off that. So I guess the whole premise of this letter is like, leave me alone. Sincerely, Ryan.
It's after further review. After that, we'll do Kick Rocks next.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Well, Terrio wants you to leave him alone and has absolutely no goodness in his heart during the giving season. River City's 1 Hour Air does. They are adopting 3 families this Christmas. It's Operation Christmas Spirit 2023. They're adopting 3 families to help make some families who are struggling or going through a tough time or less fortunate, help make their Christmas a little brighter. So you can go to their Facebook page, River City's 1 Hour Air. You'll see the Facebook page, and you'll see all of the info on how you can nominate a family. You can, if you need more info, you can call, if you'd rather do that, 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or email your nomination to christmas@onehourbr.com. Again, christmas@onehourbr.com. The selection process will end on December the 10th, so you got 9 days remaining. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time to slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find them on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
His name was King. He had a horse along the countryside.
I say, girl, don't you do that. I say, girl, don't you do that. I say, boy,
don't you do that. I say, boy, don't you do that. I say, y'all, don't y'all do that. I say, boy, don't y'all do that. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
It's like 8 minutes of cardio incoming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You need to do the dance. You haven't done the dance in a while.
Alejandra over there doesn't even know what she just did. No, I'm going to behave myself. Maybe not. You don't even know, bro.
They played this at the basketball game last night.
Oh,
LSU.
You know what? Golly, that's one of those where. So one time in my life, I'll tell the story really quickly. So Pels, no, keep it going, Alondra. Sorry, Pels Warriors in the playoffs. God, what year was that? Was it 18, 17 or 18? Durant and Curry. Game 3, Erica and I got to go. We were super fortunate. We sat. We had floor seats right behind the goal. It was awesome. DJ Jubilee was the halftime entertainment.
Okay. Yeah, you can't beat that.
He comes out and does Get It Ready, and I'm doing the whole dance, and I'm on the baseline, right? We're in the first row on the baseline.
Yeah.
And so somebody with like NOLA.com got like a cell phone video of me doing the dance. That not knowing that I was like a radio guy or anything. It was just some idiot guy doing the whole friggin' Get It Ready dance.
Yep.
And it went like super viral on their social media. It was me doing the Jubilee Get Ready. It's one of the greatest moments of my life, honestly.
I remember that, and when it happened and saw the video, and I was so proud to be your friend at that moment. Like, look at my guy.
I was proud to be me.
Yeah. Look at my guy go.
We're going to do Kick Rocks here in a second. Quick reminder, Traction, the softball pitching clinics, actually starts tomorrow.
Oh.
The first session.
Are you doing the rise ball? I need a rise ball.
A rise ball?
The rise
I would love
ball's
to learn how to do a rise ball.
Me too.
How do you do a rise ball?
You can't hit it. I don't know.
I mean,
a good rise ball, you're not hitting that. They teach it at Traction.
Well, that's what they're doing. It's the softball pitching clinic. So it's 4 sessions. The first one is tomorrow.
Okay.
There's another one on the 16th. Then January 13th, January 27th. So you go to TractionSports.com to learn more. TractionSports.com. They have the beginner and then the intermediate sessions. So super affordable, $55.
To learn the rise ball and punch people's tickets?
What are y'all doing over there? Like y'all actually trying to make money? Or you're just giving things away?
That's ridiculous.
$55.
You sure there's not a zero you're missing?
No, it's $50.
For 4 of them?
Well, I think it's per session. $55 for the session.
I'm about to say, holy moly.
Like, we gotta rethink this thing.
Merry Christmas.
Anyway, the softball pitching clinic's going on over at Traction. Get more info at TractionSports.com. Your daughter wants to learn how to pitch, the fundamentals, warm-up, mechanics, timing, strength drills. It's all there at TractionSports.com. TractionSports.com. Traction, where champions are made. And you know what?
What?
If you don't know how to pitch the rise ball, you can kick rocks.
It's time to Kick Rocks with Ryan Terrio.
Kick Rocks.
Presented by Ruckus. Kick Rocks with shoes from Ruckus. Jones Creek Road in Baton Rouge. Or go to ruckus103.com.
Tom Brady can kick rocks. That's a standing kick rocks, but this one's
a perpetual kick rock.
Kick Rocks.
Did you prepare?
Yeah. Okay, you can kick rocks for being a middle midget.
Kick rocks.
Costing your team 4 points.
They can kick a whole bag of rocks for that.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
The 2023 college football Heisman voters can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Yeah, they can.
I've seen all the comparisons. My feed is really pro LSU,
of course,
obviously. So maybe some of the numbers were skewed, maybe not. I don't know. But boy, it's pretty apparent that Jaden Daniels is the best player in college football, the most impactful player in college football, and should win the Heisman Trophy. There's been a precedent set. This has happened before with teams that have lost a few games. We've had guys that have won it. And this guy 100% deserves to win this thing. The voters that don't vote for him can kick rocks. I think
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
I think that Bo Nix will probably win the Heisman because his team is undefeated. And I think that they play a weak schedule, and that's pretty messed up.
Around the horn. We got LSU women's basketball there and around the horn. Did Kim Mulkey get a Gatorade bath last night?
Yeah, she did.
That is awesome.
She got it.
She's such a dude.
No, I mean, she's a woman.
I know, but not in a literal sense, like chromosomally. I mean, she's a dude.
She's him.
awesome. She's him.
Is she her?
I love me some her. Anyway.
Joe Flacco is starting in the NFL this Sunday.
That's the thing that's happening.
Say
for
that
those
again.
That missed it.
Joe Flacco is starting in the NFL. He wasn't even good when he was good.
Nah, he won a Super Bowl MVP. It was a point in his career where he was the highest paid quarterback in football.
He wasn't even good when he was good.
Nah, he was good when he was good.
He was Bo Nix. He was the Bo Nix of the NFL.
Nah.
100%.
He was good when he was good.
He ain't good anymore. He's old now, and he's starting for the Browns.
Well, yeah, he is.
Joe Flacco.
DTR's got a concussion.
Joe Flacco has been sitting at his house, hanging out for a couple years, doing nothing, and now he's starting Sunday in the NFL.
Yeah.
So the Browns can kick rocks.
Saw that.
Kick rocks.
I want to give 2 hugs.
Okay.
I want to give 1 hug to University High linebacker, running back, defensive end.
Let's go.
Keylan Moses.
Let's go.
I want to give a hug to Keylan Moses for staying home.
That a babe.
And I want to tell Keylan, you made the right choice.
Ooh.
No matter what happens in Baton Rouge while you're here, you're going to have a job. You're going to be revered in this community for the rest of your life. Attaboy, that was smart.
You think his brother might have whispered that to him? I don't know. Maybe. Do you think?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm a big Dylan Moses fan too, by the way.
Yeah,
I think he's a wonderful human being and trained at traction and all that stuff. I love Dylan Moses. He's just a great family. All of them. Keelan, you got it right.
Everybody has a right to go where they want, make the best decision for you. The reality is, you want to matter in this town forever and ever and ever and ever and always, go to LSU. Wear them colors.
So I want to give you a hug, big dog. A hug. Also want to give a hug to the earlier mentioned Kim Mulkey, Coach Kim Mulkey, on 700 victories, the fastest coach ever to 700 victories.
Say that again.
The fastest coach to ever reach 700 victories. Gino?
Nope.
Not as fast.
Pat?
Not as fast.
Nope.
Adolph? Rupp. Yeah, Rupp. Why would your mind go there immediately?
Well, because that's what you were implying.
It was not. Adolph Rupp. She beat Adolph. She beat Adolph. Beat him off. Give Kim a hug. Atta girl. Here's the 700 more, and go Tigers. Angel's back on the court. Give Angel a hug for being back too. That was a good game last night. And that's what I got.
Okay. Kick rocks. Brought to you by Ruckus.
Oh
my God.
Oh, Ruckus.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. Wait, hang on. Wait, don't do it yet. Because we're late, because you did a 20-minute first segment.
Oh, my gosh.
Because you bitched about your headphones for 7 minutes.
You can't say bitch on the...
Yeah, you can.
You can say bitch on the radio?
Bitched, yes, about your headphones for the first 10 minutes, and then you did a 10-minute letter, so it went super long. Let me break to get us back on time. We come back, we'll do that. We'll do that when we come back.
You got mad at me for saying ass. And
well,
you
no,
said
I
that?
didn't. No. You said a whole. You can't say the whole thing. You could say
it's a body part.
No. You can't do that. Be careful with that. That's mine.
What do you say? Anus? Is that what you say?
You can say the ASS. You can't say the whole thing. Like GD. Russ got in trouble for saying GD. You can't say GD.
I would never say that.
Well, he did.
Not me.
But you could say D.
And you said the B word.
You can say that.
Not going to repeat that.
You can say that.
Say that in class and see what happens.
I'm not in class. I'm a 41-year-old man doing a radio show where it is perfectly legal by the law of the Federal Communications Commission to say that word.
With a potty mouth.
You're a potty mouth is what you are. All right, we'll do that giant reveal when we come back next. And I want to talk about Kim as well. Okay. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon, get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Okay, so love this promotion every year. Go to GordonGives.com, GordonGives.com. You see what they're doing? Gordon's giving away bicycles. He's done this for years now. This year, 488 bicycles. It's incredible, man. It's 488 kiddos across our state they're going to have a brighter Christmas morning because of Gordon. So go to GordonGives.com. If you know a less fortunate kiddo would love a bicycle this Christmas, go to GordonGives.com, GordonGives.com, and you can fill out the entry form right there on the homepage. Now, the entry period is closed for the rest of the state except for Baton Rouge and Hammond. So Baton Rouge and Hammond, it's open until December the 7th. So you got another week. To go to the website. GordonGives.com, GordonGives.com. Love that Gordon does this every year. Get Gordon and get it done.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to
Hey baby, white folks, gangsters in the club. Hey baby, stunning with a stack of them dubs. Hey baby, riding in the lack with a.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, Terrio and I will have our final week of picks. Championship weekend, there's 10 games. We'll pick the 10 games, and that'll be it. It'll decide the championship of the Pick'em contest for the year. That's coming up in 23 minutes from right now. Okay, we'll get to our grand reveal here in a second. Real quick, LSU women's basketball did win last night. They pounded Virginia Tech. You were there. Slow start, clamped down defensively. They ran away from them. Angel Reese returned. That was obviously a huge story. Here was Angel Reese after the game. Said she had a big influence from the big Shaqtus.
My mom, of course, but I talk to Shaq every day. We FaceTime every day. He checked on me, called me every single day to make sure I was good. And he told me every day, like, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. He's been here before. He knows what it takes. And just being able to have somebody like that was something that was really good for me. He told me when I was right. He told me when I was wrong. Told me what I needed to do to get back to where I am. And I know he's going to call me after the game if he hasn't already.
So that was Angel Reese after the game last night with LSU beating Virginia Tech. First of all, let me get your thoughts real quick on the game.
I think there's so with the starting five that they ran out there, and I've never seen, even last year's national championship team, this was not the case. Every one of them could go off for 30. Like it just seemed like no matter who had the ball in their hands, they were going to be dangerous. And this is something that Kim and I spoke about this 3 or 4 months ago when she's like, my biggest challenge is going to be getting the right group on the court at the same time and like keeping everybody happy. I mean, it was really apparent last night. Like Michaela Williams, for the first few minutes, I'm like, she's the best player on the court, hands down.
She led him in scoring with 20 last night.
Like an easy 20. And then 24, Anissa Morrow, there was 10 or 15 minutes where I'm like, she's the best player on the court, no doubt about it. And then there's a few minutes where Angel's doing the rebounds and doing her thing. She's the best player. And then you watch Flau'jae, just the athleticism that she brings to the game is, I mean, her ceiling is way up there, Flau'jae. When she gets going, nobody can, you can't stop, you can't guard her. And this is a Virginia Tech team that's good, man. Their little point guard was really impressive.
I mean, look, they were in the Final Four last year. Mm-hmm. I mean, LSU beat them in the national semifinal. This was a rematch in the national semifinal, and Virginia Tech was up 20-13 after the first quarter, and then LSU held Virginia Tech to 9 points in the second quarter. That's where the game changed. LSU just ramped everything up defensively, and then they put up 82 points. So, I mean, you mentioned, Michaela Williams had 20 points. Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow had 19 apiece. Flau'jae at 13. I mean, Haley Van Lith, who is one of the best scorers in the country, at 7 points last night. You still beat Virginia Tech. You beat a national semifinalist by 18 points. I mean, there's something to watch, man. I mean, they are impressive, and to have a top 10 matchup like that and win so convincingly. How was the crowd?
The crowd was great. I mean,
was it packed?
Yeah, yeah. The crowd was great. The crowd was loud. You mentioned Van Lith. She's not even looking to shoot. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like
they got enough scorers.
They do.
They need someone who can
facilitate, pass the ball.
Yeah.
It was almost as if she was playing on a WNBA team, and the way Kim has sold this to her was like, okay, what you're doing right now in college is not what's going to happen at the next level. So you need to learn how to play this type of game, and she's doing a good job. She's consistently getting better and better and better. Alexis Morris was a little bit better at this point, I think, in actually facilitating and running the offense. Obviously, super quick. But you've got so many threats, man, on that team to score, to step out, shoot the ball from downtown, to penetrate. The pace that Michaela Williams plays with, it's just so under control and like, I'm better than you. Let me just find this little crease, and then it's stop and pop. I mean, she's impressive to watch.
It's after further review. Congrats to Kim Mulkey, got her 700th career win, as Ryan mentioned in the last segment, the fastest ever to 700 wins. It's just they're going to be fun to watch. We knew it was. The season opening loss to Colorado was it was a humbling experience, I think, for this team that came in with tremendous expectation, and they've clearly got right, man, and they're rolling right now, which is fun to watch. All right, it's after further review. All right, let's do our grand reveal. Of course, Kick Rocks every week is brought to you by Ruckus. Love Ronnie Paul and the gang over at Ruckus. We've talked about it a ton. Over the last year, I've gone deep into sneaker culture, and Ruckus jumped aboard to be a sponsor of Kick Rocks with shoes from Ruckus, which I love. And they're doing an awesome drop tonight. You want to take it away?
Okay, yeah. So this whole thing is based off of like voodoo dolls, the Louisiana culture, the voodoo scene. Really cool, like the tack stitching burlap button on the heel, supposed to show like the nature of voodoo dolls, voodoo in general. Extremely kind of like a ritualistic type setup here. So this box includes all types of stuff, right? So this is a New Balance shoe. You can see the burlap, the stitching. It kind of has the voodoo feel.
Right. The paisley design on the interior.
It looks like,
incredible.
You got the paisley on the interior.
You mentioned the burlaps on the back, the stitching on the side. Yep. I mean, it looks like a voodoo doll. These are fire. For those that are listening, not watching, it's a tan sort of burlap color with this deep red with a paisley design on the inside. These are gorgeous. Got the gum bottom on them as well.
Yep.
These are so fire. I mean, this is the kind of shoe that you almost don't want to wear because you don't want to screw it up.
So they had a,
you know what I mean?
No,
But I'm wearing it.
They
Like,
had
I don't. It's same with like when I collect whiskey. Like I don't keep unopened bottles of whiskey. It's meant to be enjoyed. These are meant to be worn. I'm gonna wear the hell out of these.
They had the crawfish dunk lows about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is the closest one that I've seen to this. You got the voodoo doll right here, thanks to Ruckus. You got the check the candle.
I'm naming the voodoo doll Bo Nix.
Oh, let's put.
I was talking about this yesterday.
Oh yeah.
That we all need to get voodoo dolls for the Pac-12 championship. Name it Bo Nix and like stab it during the game. I don't want him to get hurt or anything, but like I want him to like when he goes to throw a pass, I want to like stab him in the armpit and he just like short arms when he gets picked.
Well, now you have a voodoo doll. We need to write.
This is great timing.
We need to write Nix on the back.
Is that? Do you have to do that? Like I don't know the rule with voodoo. Like do I have to put like a Bo Nix nameplate on the back of him?
I don't know if you have to, but I don't think it would hurt.
It's like Indiana Jones. You just stab it.
Yeah, I don't think it would hurt. That's it.
Doing that tonight. Don't mess up my box.
Hold on, let me show you what else is in here. Look, the little coffin key.
You're grabbing on the side. You're gonna break it. Stop.
Oh, sorry.
Bro.
I'm excited to show you what's in there.
I'm excited to see what's in there, but I'm not excited for you to break the box.
It looks like a coffin. The box.
The box does look like a coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, it's just so good. Push that away. Push the lid away.
Let's just get that out of here.
No, just leave it. Okay. There's a little coffin in there. There's a little burlap sack. So, all right. So, we'll explain the event tonight.
So where's the
explain the event tonight.
So they got their release. The let's see where it is here. Hold on, let me see if I can find this.
I got it.
Hold on.
I got it. 6 until 9 tonight, Perkins Row in Baton Rouge, Suite 110. The online release is next week. The shoes are fire. The whole setup that they have at Perkins Row, they've set it up like a voodoo seance. It's so cool. You can see some pictures on their social media. Go to their Instagram. I got Facebook up here as well. So the release, again, 6 until 9 p.m. So if you want to cop yours, you can get them tonight at Perkins Row, Suite 110, 6 to 9 p.m. They had voodoo candles in there as well. This is going to be so cool, man.
Yeah.
What a cool event. Ruckus is awesome. Shout out. What are you looking for?
Well, they have like little pictures, like voodoo people. Like what's that lady's name?
Marie Levette.
No. Yeah, maybe. Something like that.
Fired up. Shout out to Ruckus. Shoes are awesome. Fired up. Go get you some. The New Balance Voodoos. What do they call them exactly? What's the exact name of it?
The voodoo doll. The New Balance 440 voodoo doll.
New Balance 440 voodoo doll. Go get them tonight at Perkins Row, Suite 110. 6 until 9 p.m. is the release party. Online release next week, but you can get them tonight. Perkins Row. Shout out. All right, it's After Further Review. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Thinking about buying gifts for the fella in your life? Get on over to Don Juan. Lighters, cutters, stock the stash over at Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center. Okay, it's After Further Review. Let's knock out a quick break. Come back, wrap up hour number 2 with Ask Ryan. Got questions for Terrio. You can ask him anything about anything, so fire away. Ask Ryan is next to wrap up hour number 2 of AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Oh, we went last Friday. Got our Christmas tree.
Wow. How's the tree?
Tree looks awesome.
Strong?
Well, let me show you.
Is it hardy? Is it healthy? You know? Because that's important. You got to get one that's healthy, that's hardy early.
Erica, does all the research and everything, and so she was worried because there was all this stuff about like with the Christmas tree lots because of the drought this year. You know, there was all these reports that apparently the trees were doing so great. I'm gonna tell you, man, the selection over at Clegg's was awesome. Like we got a noble.
Oh, yeah.
We got a noble fir.
Yeah, you did.
10-foot noble fir. It's gorgeous, full, beautiful tree. Erica did a great job decorating it.
It's thick, bro.
You can get it.
This thing's thick.
It is a thick tree.
I mean, they got some girth on this, bro. Like all the way up. Just a good.
Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you.
Thickness.
Clegg's Nursery.
Relentless reporting gets results.
I'm never going to stop until we get the answers you need.
Uncovering more as the powerful try to cover things up.
What happens in the dark will always come to light.
Founding new principles and practices for the state of Louisiana.
Chief Investigative Reporter Chris Nakamoto.
Chris Nakamoto and the Investigative Unit. recipients of Columbia University's prestigious DuPont Award.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find him on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Riot Radio Hour brought to you by Alpha Customs. Let's get to Ask Ryan here. You can ask Terrio anything about anything. Can he Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, online, theantiagingclinics.com. Theantiagingclinics.com was over there today. Hormone replacement therapy could be for you. No matter how old you are, whatever the number is next to your age, it's more about how you feel. And sometimes you don't even know how bad you feel until you start feeling good again.
Mm-hmm.
And a simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate. It's not necessarily that they chase numbers, but it can let you know on a sliding scale where you fall and if you might be a candidate to improve vitality, improve your quality of life, get back youthful feelings, wake up energized, be motivated to get in the gym. When you do get in the gym, build muscle, burn fat. It can help. It's hormone replacement therapy. It's at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find them on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Florida State quarterback Tate Rodemaker will be a game-time decision for tomorrow's ACC championship game against Louisville with a head injury. He took over after Jordan Travis got hurt 2 weeks ago. If Rodemaker can't play, freshman Brock Glenn gets the start. Could Georgia lose to Alabama in the SEC title game tomorrow and still make the college football playoff? ESPN's Desmond Howard says, yes, it could happen.
If you look at the strength of record and strength of schedule, that's the things that the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, they like to look at when they start splitting hairs. I think that they may be able to vote Georgia in. I'm not saying that they should. I'm just saying when you look at when teams drop, when they lose a game, very few teams drop that far out of the rankings, especially from number 1 to actually number 5.
Desmond Howard on Get Up. Tonight, Oregon and Washington in the Pac-12 title game, 8 Eastern for that one on ESPN Radio and ABC. Spurs rookie Victor Wembanyama will miss his first game tonight with tightness in his right hip.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride. You can't handle the
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again. Guess who's back? Back again.
Lisa, I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour, presented by ProCharge EV. Call 225-397-4593 or go to ProChargeEV.com.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
Let me find out that ain't your real booty meat. Let me find out your old man selling bricks. Let me find out your old man turn snitch. Let me find out your old man wear sandals. Let me find out he watch the Lifetime channel. Let me find out you got 7-8 churn. Let me find out you riding around with...
Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, man!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Alondra Villarreal. And Terrio.
Showbiz!
All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Final weekend of a full weekend of college football. I guess this counts as a full weekend.
Yeah, it does.
There's only 10 games.
That's all we pick.
But yeah, that is true. It's championship weekend. There are 10 conference championship games this weekend, and we're going to pick them. We were going to end the pick 'em last week, but decided to extend it one more week because you're losing badly and you wanted a chance to still win. Paulie, can we check the most up-to-date standings after last week? Here we go. All right, Scone last week. How about that? 9-1 last week.
Oh, man.
And Mr. The Riot went 2-8. So, Paulie, is my math right? I don't even think he can catch me now. Can he? So...
Not if you do 2 games, no.
So Scone is 90-45 on the year. Mr. The Riot 76-59. Woo! That stinks.
A rough week
Boy,
last
that
week.
stings a little bit. What was the one I got wrong, Paulie?
I don't remember offhand.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. Dynamite. No, but in all seriousness, you did a great job of keeping up with the graphic all year. For those who are listening and not watching, Paulie does this big graphic for our show, which is on YouTube and on WBTR in Baton Rouge, and it's got all the celebrity guest picker standings. So Russ Mitchell wins the celebrity guest picker award. He was 9-1 back in week 4, and the only reason he was 9-1, not 10-0, is he refused to pick Texas A&M. He just wouldn't pick the Aggies.
Just principle.
On principle. Yeah. Neil Weiner went 7-2.
Boy, Neil.
I don't know why he did only 9 games that week. But Mincy was 7-3, as were Alex Lang. Erica was 7-3 in her week. Michael Anderson was 7-3. He was here with us last week. He of Boot Up Customs. Michael Anderson went 7-3. Cecil Collins was 6-4.
The Diesel.
Stanford Steve was 6-4. I don't know why. Oh, Beck was. So Jacob Beck, who's the video producer for Hunt, was filling in one Friday when Paul wasn't here. Terrio didn't get a guest picker, and so we just let Beck be the celebrity.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He was 6-4. Tony La Russa, all the way back in week 1, went 5-4, bringing up the rear. Fred Smoot at 4-6. Well, of course he is, because he's a Mississippi State
Yep.
Bulldog, and that's what they do. They finish last in everything.
Mm-hmm.
So dynamite job there, Smoot. All right, do you want to pick the games anyway?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Can we
Hit me
make
with
them worth 2?
No, we cannot do that at all. So you lose, I win. But we'll pick the games anyway. Go ahead, Alondra. Hit us with the music if you would. 10 games here for the college football weekend. It is championship weekend. And there are some intriguing games, as you would expect. I mean, you're talking about conference championships here. So you have good teams playing in meaningful games. Only 2 games have a really outsized spread. The Big Ten championship and then the Big 12 championship with Texas is a 15-point favorite over Oklahoma. But all the other spreads are relatively close. So, all right, let's start it in 54 minutes from right now. Are you smelling that candle? The voodoo candle?
It smells like voodoo.
Let me see if I smell it. You know, I don't smell anything. I don't smell anything. I lost my smell. It's weird. Some things I can smell.
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's so weird because like
smell farts?
No.
No fart.
No. How weird is that? I worry about that sometimes because, you know, like sometimes you're in a place and you crop dust.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if when I crop dust it smells. I have no idea. Seriously. So, people could.
But you want it to smell when you're crop dusting people.
Yes.
Don't you?
Sometimes you got to let one leak out. And I'm like, I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. Anyway, but there's a great, like I've learned this. If you have, not that I would ever encourage anyone to want to lose one of your senses, but if you had to lose one of the senses, the one to lose is smell.
Really?
There are some nice things that you're never going to smell again, and that stinks. But by and large, you can get away with it, and there's a lot of bad things you'll never smell again. Now, I'll tell you, like I could go into a porta potty on Bourbon Street on Mardi Gras.
And be good.
All good.
What about taste?
My taste came back.
Really?
Taste came back.
See, it's like those two would go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do. But it's weird. And there are even some people who said, oh, maybe your taste is
like memory?
It's memory.
Yeah.
But no. Like I could blind taste test things and know what it is.
Oh.
So it's not a memory thing. But yeah, but it's weird because like if I smell like whiskey, I can smell it. Like I can smell nuance of whiskey. Wine, some food I can smell. Not all food, but some food.
What can you smell?
I just told you.
Yeah, like give me an example.
Oh, I don't know.
Just okay.
I don't know. Like if I walked into a bakery and you were cooking muffins, I wouldn't smell muffins or cinnamon rolls. I wouldn't smell that. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I'd have to have it and tell you if I could smell it. I don't know, but it's really weird.
It's interesting.
Why did we talk about that? Oh, you're smelling the candle.
I smell the candle.
All right, here we go. The Conference USA Championship game is at 6 o'clock tonight. It's New Mexico State, which went to the Plains and beat Auburn 2 weeks ago. They're on the road at Liberty in the CUSA Championship, Mr. The Riot. You want me to go first?
No, I got it. Give me Liberty, man. All day.
Right. I'm going Liberty as well on that game. This is the one that everyone here is going to be keeping an eye on. It's Oregon and Washington. Oregon is a 9, 9.5, 10, depending on where you shop. We've seen the line vacillate a little bit. Oregon's a significant favorite in this ball game. They played earlier this year. Washington beat Oregon in Seattle. Since then, that was Washington's best game they played all year. They've played poorly since. Oregon's continued to get better. That's why the line is what it is, and it's a neutral site against or in Las Vegas there at Allegiant Stadium. You want me to go first? Or do you want to go?
It doesn't matter. You can, or whatever.
I regret picking Oregon, but I just don't have any confidence that Washington win this game because Washington's defense has been so bad. Washington needed to convert a 4th down last week against Washington State to win that game. They were on the ropes by Stanford and Arizona State. They're just not playing good football. Now, they got Michael Penix. They got a great offense and a really good 3-headed monster receiver. So if they get into a score fest, could Washington slip up and miss it and win a game like that? Yeah, they could. I just don't know that that's going to happen. I think Oregon is playing really solid. Phil Steele was with us earlier in the show and said Oregon is his #1 team in the country on average game grade. So I like Oregon to win the game. Hate to say it, but I like Oregon.
I want Oregon. I think Oregon's going to win too. I don't want them to win, so I'm going to pick Washington because it really doesn't matter because I'm losing the pick'em thing anyway.
Yeah.
I think they're going to win, but I'm going to pick Washington.
All right, we'll go to Saturday. Big 12, Oklahoma State against Texas. That's at Allegiant or at in Arlington, Texas, at AT&T Stadium.
Texas is going to win that.
Texas is a big favorite there. It's interesting because Texas actually has a really legitimate shot probably the most legitimate shot among the one-loss teams, I think, to get into the playoff. Like, if you have upsets, that's the one-loss team that's going to get in, because if you're looking at one-loss Oregon, one-loss Texas, one-loss Alabama, potentially one-loss Washington if Oregon beats Washington. I mean, Texas has the head-to-head against Alabama.
Yeah, do you think they get in over Bama if Bama beats Georgia?
I do.
Really?
Phil disagreed with me earlier, but Texas is ranked ahead of Alabama, and they have a head-to-head win in Tuscaloosa. How can you, if it comes to a decision between those two schools, how can you possibly ignore the result on the field? They played a game in Tuscaloosa. Texas won it.
Yeah.
You can't ignore that. You can't. Now, Oregon may beat Washington. Florida State may lose. It may open up a couple of spots. So maybe Oregon gets in, and then, we'll see. But if Michigan wins and remains undefeated, they'll obviously be in. If Georgia wins, remains undefeated, they're obviously in. But it's really interesting if Bama wins, and if Washington loses and Florida State loses. That's when it gets really interesting what they're going to do with all the one-loss teams. I just don't know that I see a path for Bama. Maybe that's naive, but how can you ignore the result on the field that happened in Tuscaloosa earlier this year? All right, Bama, Georgia. Who do you like?
I think Georgia's going to beat Alabama.
Georgia has never beaten Alabama in the SEC championship game. Nick Saban is an underdog. Has been really tough to deal with. I'm going to go against you. I've picked Georgia all week. I think I'm at the point where I'm going to pick Alabama. Georgia's prime to lose their to have their win streak end. I think you got two good defensive teams. I've seen Georgia struggle. Both teams struggled on the road against Auburn at Jordan-Hare. Somebody Nick Saban in this game, man.
Bama. You going Bama?
I'm going to go Bama to beat Georgia and win the SEC. And I think that's a chaos scenario for the committee, because then what do you do in that scenario? SMU Tulane, that game is at Yulman Stadium down in New Orleans.
Give me the Greenies.
I'll go. I'm going to go Tulane as well. I think home field serves them well in this game. Two more, Michigan and Iowa.
Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan's a big 22-point favorite. I'll take Michigan as well. This is the most interesting when the line's all the way down to 1.5 now. Florida State against Louisville. No Jordan Travis. And then Tate Rodemaker as a backup. He's not out, but there are reports that he's in the concussion protocol and it is questionable whether he'll play. So Florida State could be down to the number 3 quarterback in the game tomorrow.
Louisville, all day.
Would you go with Louisville if Jordan Travis were playing?
No.
Even after Louisville lost to Kentucky last week?
Louisville. Yep.
Oh, man, that Florida State defense is really good.
They are, but they're going to be playing their third-string quarterback. How are they going to score?
Really good running game.
And the other guy
really
wasn't
good receivers.
The Tate guy wasn't very good either.
They were also playing on the road, night game at the Swamp against a team trying to get to bowl eligibility and save any shred of dignity for its season.
Give me Louisville.
Florida State.
Oh.
You know what? What does it matter?
You won anyway.
I already trounced you this year, you chump.
Ah! Got him!
All the times you've accused me of cheating. Thank you all the times you've accused me of cheating and fixing this thing.
Yeah, you didn't cheat this.
Went straight up and I whipped you.
Early it was questionable as far as the...
I'm sorry. Do we play a full season or
stuff?
I'm sorry, what?
Some of the cheating stuff early.
Excuse me?
Early in the year.
Oh, really?
I mean, late. Yeah, you know, but you had the lead at that point. But it's fine.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, no.
Please, tell me. Pray tell.
Well, I mean, I just didn't get the games early on, and I had to pick, before you. So I mean, just some of that stuff.
What's the matter who picks when they pick? I have my picks. I have the games. They're circled. I have my picks already done.
I mean, it's just...
You don't influence my pick. My pick is my pick.
Maybe.
Sounds like a sore loser is what this sounds like.
Maybe,
We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put up double-pane soundproof windows from Relief Windows to block you out so I don't have to hear any of your noise
block
anymore.
Out the noise.
That's what I'm going to do. Relief Windows. You want energy-efficient replacement windows? You want noise-canceling windows? You want to make your home more energy efficient, more sound efficient, you could do it. Beautify the exterior of your home. Not only does Relief Windows do windows, but they do doors, siding, and shutters.
Ooh, I need shutters.
Do you really need shutters?
I do.
You should call Relief Windows, because the same company that, of course, custom makes your windows will custom make your shutters as well. It's Relief Windows. They measure twice, they install once, and remember, they never take $1 from you. Never take $1 from you until they're done with the work and you're thrilled. You won't find a more ethical company that does better work than Relief Windows. It's why for a decade I've been proud to endorse Brandon Holly and Relief Windows and stand behind them and recommend to everyone here and in my personal life. If you need windows, doors, or siding, you call Relief Windows. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Okay, it's after further review. Football Friday edition. Glad you're here. Championship weekend gets kicked off in about 44 minutes from right now with the first conference championship game. It's New Mexico State against Liberty. And then tonight, it's Oregon and Washington in the Pac-12 championship, one that everyone here will be watching with keen interest because of the Heisman. And we'll talk about that next and what's happening with the Heisman odds. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Saints and Lions this weekend. Going to be watching, heading down to NOLA. You need anything for your tailgate, your game watch party at the house, you can always get it at Rouse's. Encourage you to download the Rouse's app. If you download the Rouse's app, you can select your items online on the app, and really easy. Your personal shopper will go pick them out for you. You pull up into one of the designated spots, and they'll bring it out to your car. Also, if you spend $35, which, of course, you're going to spend $35 on groceries, it's a free service when you spend $35. So download the Rouse's app and make sure that you use the curbside pickup option, and your personal shopper will take care of all of it. Or if you want to go in, I love going into Rouse's. Walking around, seeing the flowers, the bakery.
Good feel.
It's a great feel. It's beautiful stores, great people, friendly people, and, man, they love to source local. Local. For 100 years, it's Rouse's. The official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints, Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. $20,000 off plus no payments for 90 days on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find them on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
the best kept secret in town is out.
I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T. Do you know what that mean, man? I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T. Do you know what that mean? She got her own house. She got her own car.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, tonight, Oregon-Washington in the Pac-12 championship game. This is the one that everybody's going to be keeping an eye on here. Of course, everybody's cheering very much against Oregon because we all want to see Washington win the game. More importantly, we want to see Oregon lose the game and Bo Nix struggle, because if that happens, all accounts are that Jayden Daniels will win the Heisman Trophy. As I look up the current odds as they are right now, I'm pulling up the DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. That was basketball, not football. My apologies. Currently at DraftKings Sportsbook, the Heisman odds are Bo Nix minus 190, Jayden Daniels at plus 150. So you have more money, public money, coming in on Bo Nix, which is sending the odds the other way. Because, of course, what the odds makers want is they'll keep pushing the odds until money comes in the other side. They want to get equal action on both sides. So that's why the odds continue to go. I don't know that that's necessarily a reflection on what voters are thinking, but it's more of a reflection on the thought from the general public that, well, Bo Nix has another game, Jayden Daniels doesn't. Most are assuming Bo Nix is going to win and play well. And if this is the last thing voters get to see, then they're going to vote for Bo Nix. And, I mean, we've talked about it a lot, obviously, over the past 2 weeks, really since the Florida game when Jayden had that record-setting performance and catapulted himself back into the race after the loss to Alabama. But it kind of feels like it's, I don't know, man. Maybe I kind of feel like I'm just holding out hope that the public is going to be wrong and that the voters identify what Jayden Daniels has done and they vote for him. But the more it goes, the more it feels like that's just just kind of like my, thinking with my heart, not my head, that sentiment.
When was it Lamar Jackson, Tebow, and which other one? RG3.
RG3.
When with multiple losses and those guys won it.
Yeah.
When they won it, were they the clear? Because I don't remember. Were they the clear cut? Like they're winning the Heisman.
So that's always the sort of interesting thing is how the voting goes, right? Because if you have a year, so for example, in 2019 when Joe Burrow won the Heisman, Justin Fields had an incredible season. Jalen Hurts threw for 3,000 yards, ran for 1,000 yards, like what Jayden's done this year. But Burrow was just so clearly and obviously the best choice, right? So in years where there's just a very obvious choice, it doesn't matter what anybody else does. The weird thing is that this is a year where it feels like Jayden should be the obvious choice. It's just that the 3 losses are being held against him. Now, the year with Lamar, Deshaun Watson finished second, and Baker Mayfield was third. So Watson and Clemson won the national championship in 2016. And he still – now, they obviously had made the playoff at that point. They hadn't won it yet at that point. But Lamar – threw for 3,500 yards and ran for 1,600 yards. And so Jayden hasn't run for 1,600, but he's run for 1,000. So that is, I think, a good comp. Because you had another player that was very much in the mix, but fell short. In 2011, with RG3, Andrew Luck finished runner-up.
Okay.
So Luck, and at 2011, there was just the BCS. There was no college football playoff. So you didn't have Luck wasn't trying to get Stanford into the playoff. And then Trent Richardson from Alabama finished third. But RG3 had this year where he threw for 4,000 yards and ran for 700 yards, 700 yards, whatever it was, and accounted for 40 touchdowns and won the Heisman. You didn't like that was the year LSU and Bama played for the national championship. Well, neither quarterback was going to be in the mix, right? So. And then if you go back to 2007 when Tebow won it, the runner-up that year was Darren McFadden from Arkansas. And Arkansas was a 7-5 football team that year. So, it's tricky because Bo Nix has had a good season and his team is in the mix for the playoff, which is why this is really close. Like if I would say it like this. If LSU had one fewer loss, like if LSU had beaten Ole Miss and they led by 9 in the fourth quarter, if LSU had beaten Ole Miss and were 10-2 and were in the top 10 and were going to be in the New Year's Six,
right,
this would be over already. It would be over because Jaden has such a lead statistically that you couldn't ignore all the superlatives. But because they have 3 losses and he was sort of forgotten, it had to be a mad dash in November with the games against Florida and Georgia State and then A&M to get him back into the mix where Nix and Penix have kind of been jockeying the whole time, and Nix is playing this weekend and Jaden isn't. So, I don't know. I've been asked do I think that the West Coast, with it being Nix and Penix, could that hurt Jaden? I'm sorry, could that help Jaden?
Yeah.
That they split the
votes.
I think the opposite. Because the way the Heisman voting goes is you have a first, a second. Your ballot has a first, a second, and a third place. So you get 3 points for a first place vote, 2 points for a second place vote, and 1 point for a third place vote. I think the West Coast voters may put Nix, Penix 1, 2, and put Jaden third. I think the rest of the country, even if they vote Jaden first, will put Nix second. So what I've said is, I've encouraged everybody I know to have a vote. Just don't put Nix on your ballot. Just take him off the ballot.
Does the fact that there has been this mad dash in November, does that help him? It's almost like who's hot late. Everybody's talking. You're seeing him put up these big monster numbers, where Nix and Penix have just kind of been, steady Eddie the whole year.
No, I don't. I think what you do for. Here's the real problem.
Has anybody from Oregon ever won the Heisman?
Marcus Mariota.
That's right.
In 14. Like, here's the real problem. And this isn't like a sour grapes take or anything like that. This is legitimate. Most people that vote don't watch all of these teams all year. You don't.
Yeah.
You watch highlights, you see clips, you read things on Twitter. It's why the Heisman Trust divvies up the vote regionally. You have the South, the East, the Midwest, and the West.
Mm-hmm.
And they divvy up the votes evenly among the 4 regions because they're anticipating bias. My point is and has been, well, let's do the best we can to eliminate that bias. And I think people that cover the sport nationally should have a vote, not beat writers.
Yeah.
Because if you're, and I'm not just saying someone from Oregon, like, let's say you're a beat writer that covers LSU and you have a Heisman vote. Your Saturday is spent at Tiger Stadium. From 3 o'clock when you get there all the way through 1 o'clock in the morning when you finish, filing your stories, you focused on one game. You might be able to ancillary kind of keep an eye on what's happening at the rest of the country, but you're not locked in on all these game teams. And people, let's be real, people aren't going back and watching all these football games. So so what happens is you end up having a herd mentality, right? People you follow the herd. And a lot of times, like in political elections, people want to vote for the winner. So people will, like, I don't care if you're red or blue, but just think like maybe a candidate you love, but you know that candidate is not going to win. So you don't vote for him. You vote for the person that's got a chance to win that represents your party. Mm-hmm. It's similar here. Like, I think people are going to vote for who they want to win. And unfortunately, I think Bo Nix is going to have a big game tonight and probably win the Heisman. It's a bummer. But we'll watch tonight. I'll grab this voodoo doll that I've named Bo Nix.
We're going to get him. Stick him with some safety pins.
Do you have a safety pin?
Nope.
You mean you're not keeping a safety pin in that awful mustache?
What? This thing's gorgeous.
You don't have one hidden up there?
Look at it.
What a trash stash. What are you doing with that thing?
Look at that.
I've ignored it for an hour and a half.
Randy Terrio's proud right now.
No, he's not.
Oh, yeah. He's look at my boy.
Randy Terrio's not proud of that mustache.
With that beautiful mustache on his face.
Why did you decide to wear a mustache?
Mm-hmm. I shaved, so I had the whole thing kind of going last night, and then I cleaned it up and just to see what that looked like today. So I've had it all day today. No really real sideways looks. I would think Tilly would make fun of me, but he didn't really say a whole lot. I mean, I was anticipating having to defend myself. But I did try to give myself another nickname today, and he didn't like that.
You've ditched cricket? You mean cricket didn't catch on?
No, I kind of caught on.
No, it didn't catch on.
Dude, I heard one the other day that I really liked, and I wish people would have started calling me this. Pee-wee. What if my nephews and nieces called me Uncle Pee-wee? I think that's so funny.
Like Pee-wee Herman?
No, just Pee-wee. Not Pee-wee Herman.
I don't understand why you feel the need to have a nickname.
Pawpaw Pee-wee?
Like you've got a nickname. The Riot.
No,
that's what people
it's
called
my
you in
last
baseball.
name.
But that's what people called you in baseball.
Nah.
We have the Riot radio hours.
You don't like Pee-wee?
It's your name. No.
Pee-wee's radio hour?
I will never call you Pee-wee ever. There's no chance of me ever calling you Pee-wee.
Pee-wee really? Cobble likes it. Cobble likes it. He said it's glorious.
The mustache?
The mustache.
No, here. Okay,
Do you like the nickname Cobble?
No.
Pee-wee?
There is. All right. Any person wearing a mustache in 2023, you're an attention seeker.
Oh, that's...
Hey, Paul Skeens.
No.
Paul Skeens. I love you. Love you, Paul Skeens.
That's wrong, dude.
The mustache is an awful look. What are you doing? I get it. He's a millionaire. He's dating Livy Dunn. Good for him. He can throw 102 miles an hour.
I think it looks
awesome.
good on him.
It's stupid.
No.
Stupid.
I think it looks good on him, man.
Travis Kelce. I get it. You're Travis Kelce. You're a millionaire. You're dating Taylor Swift. Maybe the joke's on me.
It sounds that
Maybe
way.
the joke's
Livy
on me.
Dunn, Taylor Swift. I mean...
You know what? You're Burt Reynolds.
What's wrong with Burt Reynolds? He's badass.
Nothing. But Burt Reynolds was wearing a mustache when it was appropriate to wear a mustache. And so if you started wearing a mustache,
he might have started
if you started wearing a mustache in 72 when it was cool to wear a mustache in 72 and you just never shaved it, God bless you. I got nothing against you. But in the year of our Lord 2023, when you're a young person wearing a mustache, it's stupid.
Is Travis Kelce cool?
Is
he cool?
I know I'm pissing people off.
Is Travis Kelce
You can
cool?
be cool and do something dumb.
Is Paul Skeens cool?
I don't know. I don't know Paul Skeens.
Is Dylan Cruz cool?
Yes.
They
I
all
would
wear
assume.
mustaches.
Yes.
Mustaches
And
are cool.
And wearing the mustache is stupid. You can be cool and do something dumb.
You know, the thing is, you could have a beautiful mustache. That's the problem.
I could.
You could have a great, thick.
I could have Steve Harvey's mustache by tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
I'm jealous of that. If I could grow what you have on your face right now, if I could grow that, I would have it. I can't. This is what I got.
Where's the mustache?
This is what I got. It's what the good
when I
Lord
look
gave
at
me.
people wear, God bless it. Our guy in sales, Will, wears a mustache. Young guy. I'm like, Will, what are you doing? Every time I look at him, I'm like, what?
Gives him edge. He likes the way he feels.
Good-looking guy, nice guy, married. You got a young kid. I look at him like, Will, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like what?
It looks good on him, probably.
It's hard for me to look him in the face.
I like mustaches.
Why?
I don't know. I'm into them. Well, it's not like it's not like a thing. Like I don't seek them out, but I'm not mad at the mustaches.
I mean,
I guess because
look, Jonna hates this. She absolutely hates this. She says it's disgusting. I'm not kissing you, like whole thing.
Good.
She hates it.
I guess because for the majority of my life, wearing a mustache has not been cool. Nobody wears a mustache. Like, is it just that it's come back in vogue?
And you say history repeats itself, Matt.
I guess. Maybe that's the case. That looks stupid. You better shave it down with your lip. It's after further review. Stay here. We'll continue.
AFR.
Brought by Hudco Roofing, where one of the owners of Hudco Roofing wears a mustache, and thankfully the other owner, Richard Tilley, is a clean-cut, upstanding gentleman who will help take care of anything you got, commercial or residential. Hey, all the rain today. Actually, just got a text on the show, on the show text line, asking for the Hudco number. Baton Rouge, 364-1007, 364-1007. As a matter of fact, that rings forward to Terrio's phone. So if you call right now, if you call 225-364-1007, Terrio's phone will ring. Do it right now. Seriously, stop texting. 225-364-1007, 364-1007. Terrio's phone will ring before we finish this if you call that number. Or just go to HUDCOroofing.com. With all the rain that's come through, there it is. Answer it. Hudco Roofing, this is Ryan. Answer it.
Hudco Roofing, this is Ryan. How can I help you?
I just want to make sure you
Yep, there it is. Answer the phone.
Yep, that's it.
Hudco Roofing, HudCoRoofing.com.
Thanks for calling.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, boat owners, check it out. It is the holiday season, which means it's time to buy yourself a gift by taking your boat to the next level with our friends at Front to Back Boat Service. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your boat and get it ready for that warmer weather, whether that's trolling motors, HD sonar, anything and everything. The Sherman family's been at it for 30 years, and Devin's going to take you through 30 more. Find him on Facebook at Front to Back Boat Service or go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles.
Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 in the 2000s.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Yeah, look, I thought we had some good work. So now we've got to go out on Sunday and execute. And so that's really all it's about now.
Dennis Allen, as the Saints get ready to take on the Detroit Lions back in the Dome on Sunday. See if the Saints can get right after back-to-back losses. They are tied right now with Atlanta atop the division, but Atlanta, of course, has the tiebreaker. Let's very quickly run through the injury report for Saints-Lions. There are 4 Saints players that have been ruled out, and this is not good news for New Orleans. Marcus May is out. Pete Werner is out. So 2 of your defensive starters will not play this weekend. Offensively, Kendre Miller and Rashid Shaheed have been ruled out. Now, 4 other players are questionable. Cam Jordan, Blake Grupe, Eric McCoy, Chris Olave. So not only are you without 2 defensive starters in May and Werner, but Shaheed, of course, is out. Michael Thomas is out. And Chris Olave is questionable in the concussion protocol, although he was a full participant on Friday. Eric McCoy is also questionable, so you could be down at offensive lineman. And Blake Grupe is questionable, so you could be relying on a backup kicker as well. So for a team that is 5-6, that the best win you have all year is the win on the road in Indianapolis against a 6-5 Colts team, to be coming home against the Detroit team that is got to be looking for a get right after losing on Thanksgiving at home against Green Bay. I hate the spot. I hate the spot for the Saints with the Lions coming in. As for the Lions injury report, the one player ruled out is Hendon Hooker, who hasn't played all year. Alex Anzalone is listed as doubtful. Jonah Jackson, their offensive guard, is questionable, but they may be getting him back as well. Everybody else was full. So the Lions are a healthier team. They had the long week after Thanksgiving to get healthier, to get ready for this game. Yes, they have to travel, but the Saints were on the road. Now they come home. Yes, the Lions were at home. Now they're on the road, but they have the long week to get ready. I don't know that there's a single advantage in this game that I would give New Orleans. Detroit's defense is top 10 in the NFL. Excuse me, Detroit's offense, forgive me. Detroit's offense is top 10 in every major statistical category in the NFL. The Saints' defense has been slipping of late. On the flip side, Detroit's defense isn't very good, but the Saints' offense isn't very good either. So that's a bad-on-bad matchup, and we've seen Derek Carr and his inefficiency in the red zone. Now, Dennis Allen was also asked if the criticism toward Derek Carr this week has been warranted.
Obviously, when you're not winning like you want to win, there's certainly the head coach, the quarterback, the coordinators. That's where the brunt of the criticism goes. And look, rightfully so, because that's really where those are the key cogs in the operation. And so, I think we all understand that kind of comes with the territory a little bit. And Derek's just going to put his head down and go to work. But it's a team game, and there's 3 phases that go along with it. There's 11 players out there on the field on every play, and everybody's got to be able to execute to have success.
Yeah, with a bad offensive line, an inefficient quarterback, you're down Michael Thomas, you're down Rashid Shaheed, you could be down Chris Olave as well. A Saints team whose best win was against the Colts at 6-5. Your other wins were against the 2-9 Patriots, the 4-7 Titans, the 4-8 Bears, and the 1-10 Panthers. Like, you've had some wins against some of the worst teams in the NFL. When you've gone up against teams with a pulse, you lose. And you've even got some ugly losses as well. The loss at Green Bay in week 2 or week 3 was an awful loss. A game you should have won. I don't know how you pick New Orleans in this game. I mean, the Lions are a 4.5-point road favorite, and quite honestly, I'm surprised the line's that short. It probably should be more. I'm going to take the Lions in this game, and I think that's probably the easiest pick of the year because the Lions are the best team that you will have faced. I think that's the best team on your schedule. You're playing poorly. They're trying to win a division, trying to push for playoff seeding. They're 8-3. They're 4-1 away from home this year. I don't even know how to start to formulate the case for the Saints in this ball game.
Absolutely. And everybody's hurt. They're not going to win.
Saints-Lions, noon, Sunday on Fox. I would love to paint you a sunshine and roses scenario where the Saints could maybe exploit a matchup and win this game, but there's nothing I see that tells me the Saints would have a chance to win this game. Aside from the fact that it's the NFL and there's the any given Sunday rule, which is true. I mean, they're all pros and everybody gets paid, and you could always put together a great game and have a great plan and go win. I mean, Dallas was a big favorite last night, and Seattle, which has really struggled, had a great offensive night, and but for a defensive collapse in the second half, it would have gone on the road and won. But I mean, that's your hope, is just to say it's the NFL and anybody can win on a given Sunday in the NFL. But boy, even the Saints' home field hasn't been what it is. The Saints are just 2-2 at home this year. And one of those wins, of course, was against a terrible Chicago Bears team where the Bears turned it over 5 times, and you had to hold on late to win that game against a rookie quarterback from Division II, a Division II school making his 3rd ever start. There's just nothing. There's nothing here to instill confidence in the Saints to win this game, and I'm going to pick Detroit like I think everybody else will. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020. As a matter of fact, got a text on the show text line just a bit ago from Richard T. I won't use his last name. Not Richard Tilley, but actually close. There's only one vowel difference. But anyway, he said, went to the Williamson Eye Center, had LASIK, seeing 2020. Dr. Blake Williamson was awesome. Thanks so much. I love seeing that. He sent me this a bit ago and said, got my right eye done on Monday, went from 20/70 to 20/20. and the other eye was done the following week. And so got it done over at the Williamson Eye Center. Call 924-2020. You want to see 2020 without contacts and glasses. They have a refractive procedure to help. Call 924-2020 or go to williamsoneye.com. That's Williamson, EYE.com. Well, I was doing the game that you were texting. So who's texting? What's going on? Mustache pictures?
No, we're trying to figure out if we should go to the Catholic game. Because of the weather, and then
is it raining?
There's like it's gonna be rainy, and then there's like this Christmas train thing out there. But Tilly's he's a Grinch. He's out there, and so I think I'm gonna go.
Didn't they? And they moved the game up to 6:30.
It's 6:30 now.
So they moved it up because of the impending bad weather.
Early start.
It's just gonna get really bad later. I mean, it's the forecast shows rain all night.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. But look,
dude, I love my school.
It's not cold, so I mean, I'm gonna go.
I love my school.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit in the rain. I'm not.
But it's right there.
What are the
I'm close.
Yeah, you are now, but you live on the other side of town now. Like you live by me now.
But I'm not gonna go over there though.
Yeah.
I was just gonna.
I'm going home.
I was just gonna go and
I'm trying to think what are things. This is actually a good question. What is something that I would actually be willing to sit in the rain to watch? And I don't know the answer to that.
You'd watch a Yankees World Series game in the rain.
I don't know that I would.
Really?
You mean like at Yankee Stadium? Mm-hmm. Well, you know what, I say that. Last summer, when I turned 40, Eric and I made a trip to New York, and we got tickets. Actually, we saw the Yankees play the Astros. And it did rain for about a half inning, and I didn't leave my seat.
No.
I sat right there. I flew to New York. I got these tickets, and we were like 10 rows from the Yankees dugout. We splurged.
Yeah.
And they were not freebies, by the way. We splurged, and it was my 40th birthday. Like, we're going. And I was like, I ain't moving. I ain't missing a pitch of this game.
Would you watch?
So maybe you're right with that.
Would you watch John Jones fight in the rain, like outdoor? Like if it was like an outdoor venue, and it started raining? Because you love UFC.
I do, but I've seen John Jones' last 3 fights. I've seen him in Vegas.
You love him.
Twice, and I've seen him in Houston. I think he's a degenerate, but he's the best fighter in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
I don't love him personally. He makes awful life decisions, and he's actually robbed us as fans of his prime, of getting to watch his prime. But as a fighter, he's the greatest fighter in the history of the sport.
Now, you like LSU baseball.
I do.
Like Matt, like 40-year-old Matt.
41-year-old Matt is not. Like 21-year-old Matt, I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, you're going to watch.
Shoot, man, I went and watched Dave Matthews at the Woodlands and was out on the berm in a torrential
tornado.
I took my shirt off. Yeah. You know what I did? We went and we drove home from Houston after the show. I went to a gas station and bought like a T-shirt at a gas station, and I had I don't know why I had a blanket in the car. I took off my bottoms, wrapped myself in a blanket, put on a T-shirt I bought at a gas station, and drove home. Like 21-year-old Matty Mo was down for whatever. 41-year-old Matt, way too bougie, bro. Well, I've got way too just comfortable in my age now. You know what I mean? Like I will pay for convenience now. Convenience matters. Convenience and comfort matters to me in life now.
I'm trying to think what I would do in the rain.
Think about it. We'll come back, wrap up the show, little Ask Ryan, get your questions in, or tell us what you would sit in the rain to watch. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel. Real quick, Watermark downtown. I want to remind you, Watermark has weekend brunch, Saturday and Sunday brunch at the Gregory. So a lot of people think, well, I'm going to go downtown. It's hard to park. If you're going to the Gregory, it's complimentary valet. If you've not experienced the Gregory yet, you got to do it. The Watermark is so beautiful. It's literally the best hotel property in Baton Rouge. You got to check it out. Go eat brunch this weekend at the Gregory. You'll love it. Thank me later. The Renaissance Hotel as well. I love that the Renaissance has so many great events going on right now. They're having these evenings at the Renaissance series they have going on. They have like kids culinary classes coming up. They have a craft event coming up as well. They have great tasting events. There's a Sugarfield Spirits craft tasting event coming up on December the 7th. It's next week from 6 to 8:30 at the Renaissance. Check it out. Evenings at the Renaissance Hotel. It's the Renaissance Hotel in Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
Extreme entertainment. This is the way I live. Little boy still pushing big.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. All right, let's get to Ask Ryan to wrap up the show. You can get your questions in. You can email us. You can tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Tony Sicaro via email said, ask Ryan, when and how did you and Matt become friends? From Tony Sicaro.
Well, I came on the show, I think it was 2010, and that was the first time I was in Chicago, and then we've been pretty consistent ever since then. So 2010, but before that, I'm friends with Erica, Matt's wife, since middle school.
When did you, I don't know if you were still with the Cubs the first time you came on.
I was.
Because that was when you got traded.
No, it was the same year, but I remember where I was when I came on. I was in a Dwayne Reed parking lot in Chicago. We had an off day.
Why do you remember that?
I just remember it was cold and like rainy, and I pulled over to do the interview in that parking lot.
I thought it was like in July.
It was rainy.
Oh, wow. Oh, you remember way more about that. I remember I asked you about the Ryan Terrier bobblehead day. I do remember asking about that.
And I don't remember anything. I remember that.
And now you know the rest of the story. Eric Gotro asked Ryan, what's your favorite bat brand?
Marucci, of course.
Greg Lehman asked Ryan, man, we really needed this rain. Am I right?
We sure did. We got a lot of it,
That's a good one. That's a good one, Greg. Jeff Brown, Matt, is CHS game available live on YouTube? No, they stream now on Varsity Sports Now, I think is what it's called, VSN. They stream the games.
Yeah, shout out Dixon.
Brian Chandler asked Ryan, who has a better shot of getting a hit off of Skeens, you or Houston?
Me, for sure.
I was about to say,
come on, bro.
I mean,
let's be real. I love my son.
I love you.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Pawpaw can swing the bat a little bit.
Still
now.
swing the bat.
Oh, Pawpaw Pee Wee can swing it. Yeah.
Pee-wee.
Papa Pee-wee.
AFR.
Pee is so stupid. Papa Pee-wee. We're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. I was trying to think of a Pee-wee reference to tie into Michelli, and nothing came to mind. I was just focusing on you calling yourself Papa Pee-wee. Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Michelli.com. You know what Michelli could do? I bet they could calibrate the radar gun to measure Paul Skeen's fastball. How about that?
I bet you they could.
I bet you they could do that. You know what else they could do? They could probably measure no, I don't think it'd measure like the exit velocity. They probably could measure exit velocity of a baseball and all that sort of stuff.
They could measure the weight on the aggregate that T3 brings in.
Yes. Oh, no, that is good. Yeah. They could do that for sure. Yeah. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. You weigh or measure something, they sell, service, rent the products that you use to weigh and measure. Sea to shining sea. Learn more online at Michelli.com for more than 75 years. Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Michelli.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is.